posting. A few of you, including Betty, I'm using as examples of successful live sellers. So we will be talking about people positively so that you can learn from them. So again, I just want to thank you guys for kind of jumping into this. And I made the price point really low because I wanted this to be something that was really accessible to everyone, so that when I made it a requirement for new live sellers, you know, it made sense for them in addition to the $47 that they're already paying. So I believe that we're at 4:05 Eastern, and I don't have anyone else in my waiting room. I might have to accept some people because I think we're missing about 4. This is a new feature of Zoom. I guess they just started this so that people wouldn't be popping into Zooms randomly. But I'm gonna close that out. Hopefully I see it. Great. Okay. I'm just making sure I can see all my functionality. So per usual, guys, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Feel free to keep yourselves on video or turn yourselves off. This is a little bit more of a casual workshop, only because there aren't as many of us. So I don't feel that pressure to make everything perfect. But I'm going to start sharing my screen and get this all together here. All right. So I'm assuming you guys see my welcome, live selling and thrift boss babes listing success. I see Patty nodding her head. I see a thumbs up from Joy. Awesome. I can't see all of your faces unless I scroll over. Oh, hi Trish. I see Trish is on video. Hi, welcome. So I know that you guys by now are super experts with Zoom. Oh shoot, you know what? I didn't actually add some text here, so I should add some text for the slides that I'll be sending out. But I basically just told you guys thank you for, you know, making this investment in your live sales and your daily posting success. But this workshop has been designed for all future live sellers and thrift boss babes sellers, daily sellers, to have something that they can turn to so that they feel more prepared than just, I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna figure this out as I go, I'm just gonna swim in this deep end and hopefully I don't drown. So you guys, if you're watching the replay or if you're on this afternoon live, you're making a great investment in your resale career, especially because I have seen the results of live sellers and I have seen the results of daily posters. And wow, you know, Thrift Boss Babes is not an eBay, it's not an Etsy, it's not a Poshmark. It is a source of extra income in your resale business. And I have seen people make $1,000 plus on a live sale, and I've also seen them make hundreds of dollars listing monthly. So you guys are obviously Zoom pros, but just to remind you, you know, feel free to turn off your video. You guys know the mute button, it's in the lower left-hand corner if you're on your desktop. And then also there is this lovely chat button, which I always send you guys to on my Zooms. You can change from spotlight to gallery. That's gonna be in the upper right-hand corner. So it's either gonna say speaker view, which will just show whoever is speaking, or gallery, which will show all of our beautiful faces. Again, I'm just kind of rushing through this because I think you guys know how to use Zoom. Now, in the chats, as I get us started, I love to hear from you also so that you can connect with each other. I think most of us know each other, but there could be some new faces. So where are you tuning in from? Are you currently a seller in Thrift Boss Babes? And I know for a fact, there's a few of us who aren't. Have you hosted a live sale before? I know a few of us have not hosted a live sale, which is awesome. That's why you're here today. And then what are your live sale goals? Is it about the money? Is it about unloading your inventory? Is it about forming relationships with customers that you can scale in the future and you can cultivate, you know, these new connections, you know, beyond the night of your live sale? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear it in the chat. So feel free not to pay attention to me as much and to get over there in the chat. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more people. Again, apologies guys, I have this waiting room now, which is brand new, so it kind of throws me off track. All right, I think we have 2 new people joining us. If you ladies just want to put yourselves on mute, we did get started. And I will be sure to say hi to you when we're able to chat as a whole. So thank you ladies for joining. Okay, cool. So I think we're pretty much all here now. So we are going to officially jump right into this. Per usual, I provide way too much information. Some of it I'm going to go over very quickly. basically to say, hey, you will get these slides after this, this live presentation. So just check out the slides for that information, because I don't want to have to read everything word for word, but essentially we are going over live sales first. So we're going to cover live sales right away. And then we're going to cover daily posting success in Thrift Boss Babes. And then we're going to review a few of your personal posting in Thrift Boss Babes. So I'll take a few volunteers. I'll go onto Facebook. You'll see my Facebook Live. I'll search for your name and we will take a look at a couple of your listings. And we will talk about the good, the bad, and what can be improved. So module 1, we're going to go over promoting your live sale, a lot of P's here, guys. Promoting your live sale, preparing your live sale, pricing your live sale, presenting, customer service, shipping, and post-sale strategies for more profits, which I love that part. And then module 2, which is about posting daily in Thrift Boss Babes, we're going to go over photography, writing descriptions, measurements, pricing, listing, creating and using albums, customer service, and then we're going to dive into that one-on-one critique, which I think intuitively I feel like is going to be the most valuable part of this presentation. So I really want to make sure we have enough time for that. So first and foremost, okay, we get to study the success of others. I'm going to point out a few awesome live sellers. When you guys come back to these slides, you can click these links right here, which I know some stuff on Zoom is showing up, I apologize. But you can click these links and you can go and watch their sales. I know that we don't always catch each other's sales. We have lives. I don't even watch everyone's sales from the first minute to the last minute. I literally can't do that. But these are some sellers that I am just always floored by. This is Valerie. Valerie is brand new to Thrift Boss Babes. She is sort of like the case study of how you can jump into Thrift Boss Babes and really take advantage of everything that our selling community has to offer and make some serious money. So this was her first live sale. So definitely check that out and you're gonna see how she prepared herself and promoted herself to get the biggest following and the best audience for her live sale. So we're gonna see some of the things that she did that I, as someone who creeps through our group all the time, I was like, Valerie, that's very smart of you. That's like, you're good. So she really set herself up to win. And then of course there's Brandy. If you don't know Brandy, she offers vintage only and very, very affordable price points. I'd say she's kind of like, she's the girl you go to for unique 60s, 70s, 80s items at really affordable price points. And she has purple hair and she's really colorful and she just fits her brand. She really represents her brand and she gives a lot to Thrift Babes and Thrift Boss Babes. So people know her. So we're gonna talk a lot about how to continue to cultivate your own brand within the groups so that people anticipate your live sale. So Brandy is a great example of someone whose live sale is anticipated. She's actually hosting a live sale tonight at 8 p.m. And then there's Natalie. Natalie was a buyer for, I guess, almost a year. She never was a seller until quarantine, and she has just really jumped right in. She's incredibly professional. She's got her process down to a T. So if you watch one of her live sales, you might even pick up on some things that I'm not sharing with you tonight. I actually asked her a few questions as to how she does specific things to offer those insights to you guys. And then just to actually take a step back, all of these live sellers typically make more than $500 a sale. And I've had a few sellers, I'd say about 5, no more than 5, hit over $1,000. So the $500 to $1,000 price point, that's where you want to aim to really take advantage and capitalize on the opportunity that is a live sale in Thrift Babes and Thrift Boss Babes. This is Bridget, and I'm sorry, it's actually Bridget. I've been saying Bridget. Bridget, and she is someone who has actually hit over $1,000. And what is so wonderful about Bridget is she knows her brand and every single item represents her brand. So this is, again, something for you guys to think about as you grow as live sellers, because you're gonna start in one place and end up in another over the next few months, the next year. But her pieces are wearable, they're casual, they're cotton, they're rayon, floral. She's really big on florals and lots of patterns. So people just know what she's going to offer, and that's why they come to her. And then last but not least, we have Betty, who is on tonight. I absolutely adore Betty and what she has to offer. Funky, unique, one-of-a-kind items, things that just pop and you're just like, wow. Her setup is amazing. She's actually in a closet, which I know will change, Betty, when you change homes. But she has done such a great job, again, of cultivating her brand, which is Second Act Fashion. And so I would suggest watching one of her lives, which, Betty, I think you posted 2 now, maybe 3, going on your 4th. I'm not quite sure. Okay. So again, that's your homework, guys. We're not going to watch those lives right now. So this is like the secret sauce that I like to tell people when they sign up for a live and they've never sold in our group. And that's what sells. What do I see that sells? Now, some of the things I say, that doesn't sell, it's really more just from a place of don't go sourcing it because it's more difficult to sell. But the things that really always sell, unique, one-of-a-kind items. Just, again, these things that, if you think about when you go shopping or when you go thrifting, like, what are the chances that you're going to find? I can always find a little black dress. I can always find, black leggings. I mean, again, those are really general things. I can always find a navy blue blazer. Okay. I'm not going to buy a navy blue blazer from a live sale. Vintage items that are trendy, modern, and wearable up to the 2000s. And then collectible vintage that other resellers buy to resell via their established brand. So let's talk about this. We've got an audience, Thrift Boss Babes, and say I'm one of those people. We buy things for ourselves to wear. I buy things for me to wear. And then we have an audience, Thrift Boss Babes, who are resellers. They are incredibly established. They will buy something for $30 and sell it for $90. So they're willing to purchase things, at those price points from, say $20 to $40, because if it is a designer label, for the vintage world, or it's just something that's so special, they know that their audience wants it. They're going to buy it from you because they don't have time to go source these things, or because the nature of the world that we're living in, a lot of people are still staying at home. So if you're comfortable selling things to resellers and seeing them make 3 to 4 times the amount that you sold it to them at, this is a group for you, because I'm seeing a lot of resellers pop in and buy things. That makes me really happy because it means that the fashion food chain is working. Jumpsuits. I'm throwing this in here just because I know that a good jumpsuit is hard to find. And if it's a good jumpsuit, it sells. So if you find a good jumpsuit, buy it and sell it on a live. Right now we are spending a lot of time at home. We're not going out. We're just not living life the way that we were this time last year. So relaxed leisure wear pieces, especially dresses and jumpsuits, but think cotton, rayon, even polyester at home wear. Once I get to the things that aren't really selling, you'll understand why I'm saying to get more relaxed leisure wear pieces. Size 6 to 14, this is just modern American sizing. I don't want to say that we don't have size 0 to 4, but it is more rare. And so I just don't suggest that you spend $20 on a size 0 item, because you might not be able to sell it. It's just going to be a difficult sell. As cute as it is, as funky as it is, or one of a kind, it just might not sell. We definitely, have clientele who are, 12 and 14, and they really want to buy, and they ask in the comments, will this live sale have plus size items, or have items, that are bigger than a size 10? So if you do carry those items, I would suggest putting it in your comments, putting it in your description when you're promoting your live sale, which we will get to. Unique jewelry and accessories, hardly worn shoes, more so unique boots and comfortable shoes over stiletto heels. I've seen some heels sell, but we're not really a heels group. So again, I wouldn't go sourcing for those things. So don't go source formal dresses or little black dresses, prom dresses, club, nightlife wear. This is surprising, but sequins, again, it's just, we all have so many, and unless it's the coolest piece ever, I wouldn't source it. Again, size 0 to 4 items, basics. I'm sorry, it's blocking me from seeing what else I wrote. I'm not quite sure what I put down there, but you guys will see. Oh, there we go. Workout clothes and I forget what else I put right there, but workout clothes we really don't sell, and that's something that, you know, I like to buy, but I wouldn't sell them in a live sale. Okay, so hopefully I can move this. Sorry guys, hold on one second. I've never seen it do this before. Yeah, there we go. So here are the things that you 100% need for a live sale. If you are tuning in and you've never hosted a live sale before, I would suggest buying these things. I don't want to force you guys to invest in your business and spend $100 before you make $100, but these items really help. First and foremost, numbers for your live sale. These are the numbers that I have been telling people to buy. They are pretty bright, and they're easy for the people in the audience to see, so that if you're holding it up on your hanger and it's in front of the item, which I think this number is reversed here, but it's very easy for them to see. And these are about $14. Obviously hangers you need. The reason I say that is don't throw a pile of clothes beside you. I actually did that for my live sale when we were just starting out, and I learned really quickly that that was stupid because it was really hard to pick things up. A clothing rack, again, something that if you don't have a closet space, invest, you know, $50 in a clothing rack that you can just, you know, break down and put in your closet. A ring light that holds your phone. I'm gonna share with you guys the ring light I have. It doesn't hold my phone, but there, if you click this link, there are ring lights where you can put your phone in the ring light. And that, it's like two birds with one stone. You don't have to get a separate tripod. And it just makes life a lot easier than trying to set up your phone and your ring light separately. An aesthetically pleasing background. You'd be surprised, a lot of people don't realize, you know, even myself right now, I don't have the best background right now, but this is kind of the best that I could create in this moment. But you can get backgrounds. So I could get a background for right here that's like a sequin background or some sort of floral background, and it just makes things look so much more professional. You can also get some really fancy ones. If you click this link, it will show you some ideas of fancy ones. So Betty, as you grow in your condo, you might create a room that has, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like a disco ball, or like, you know, some flowers that are actually sort of like some paper flowers that you can attach to the wall. You can do a lot of things to create a really fun background. Obviously it's an investment, and you know, you might not necessarily be able to break it down, but if you have the space and you can keep it up for the long haul, it's going to help with your branding. It's going to help people to see your thumbnail as they're scrolling through Facebook and go, what is that? I want to stop and watch that live sale. Hang tags for your measurements. We're going to talk about this momentarily. Patty was actually discussing this right before we got started, but you need these hang tags so that you can write down your measurements and use a safety pin and put them on your garment. It's not a good idea to actually have a list, because your eyes, you'll be like, where am I? Something will get moved on your clothing rack and you'll be like, I thought I was at number 13, but now I'm at number, you know, 21. I don't know the measurements. So you need to put those hang tags on your clothes with the measurements. Number 7, your best self. Put on makeup, do your hair, feel good, drink a coffee if you need to, but you definitely need to bring the energy. Just like I do on these presentations, I'm always bringing more energy than if I were just having a conversation, you know, face to face with someone. Some other things that can help but aren't required: matching hangers, like really nice velvet hangers or wooden hangers that, you know, can add up, but over time that might be something you want. And then a sign with your brand name in the background. I didn't hyperlink this, but you guys can go on Amazon or just Google that. And if you say, you know, want to put your brand name on a sign, it's always going to be in the background. So again, people kind of have that station identification when it comes to what do your live sales look like, and they're attracted to it. And when they see that background, they know that it's you. So Betty, thank you so much, is helping with the preparation for all future live sellers and also daily listers and Thrift Boss Babes. She made a great video. It is hyperlinked here. So when you get these slides after the presentation, click that link. And she shares a lot of different ways to make measurements. What I suggest for a live sale are the basics, only because, as even Patty was saying, it takes a long time to make measurements on, say, 75 items. So if someone wants more measurements, they'll know. they'll they'll write a comment or they'll message you later, but at least have the bust, the waist, if they're pants or shorts, the inseam. And then I will actually add the length of the garment, because I'm 5'9", but some people are 5'2". So a maxi on me is gonna like hit the floor on someone who's 5'2". The length of the sleeves and the width of the shoulders. Some of us are wider. I'm wider in the shoulders. So some things that fit here don't fit here for me. And I actually have like ripped sleeves because of that. Vintage sizing. So this is tricky because we are a more vintage geared group. So a lot of us are educated on that. I'm really trying to suggest to people not to say, you know, here's my 1980s blazer. It's a vintage size 10, blah, blah, blah. Because again, this is a vintage size 10, but it's really more a 6. And so someone who's actually a 10 that just doesn't understand vintage sizing, they might still think it's a 10. So that's why measurements are so important. We even talked about this in the group at one point, where size 12 pants across different brands can be like this big, this big, this big, this big, because there's no consistency. Now modern sizing, you know, if it's a really modern garment, like super modern, like you just bought it from like the Gap last year. I mean, if you want to say small, medium, large, sure, especially if it's just like a top, like a plain top. But you know, for the most part, measurements are what you're going to want to share on the live sales.
Sammy?
Yes.
I would also, it's Betty,
yeah.
When you're selling pants, I would really advise to add the rise measurement.
Oh, right, the rise.
Because that is especially, yeah.
I'll add that.
Yeah.
Yes, I will add that to the presentation. So the inseam and the rise are different. And when you watch Betty's video, she clearly explains how to make those measurements, but you can also do a quick Google so that, you know, you can understand on a body or on a garment where those measurements are. So again, if I get something that's not the correct rise, I have long legs, so it could be really tight on me, and we don't want tight pants like that. So thank you, Betty. Great point. Okay, so this slide is a lot of text, and I wanted to make this slide so that anyone who's a live seller, who's brand new and just really overwhelmed, they sort of have a roadmap. Patty, I know that you're going live in, I think, about 3 days. So you might feel like you're a little bit behind based on this roadmap. But 2 weeks before, begin sourcing. A lot of us, you know, we have a great inventory, but we might not have the right items for the group, or we might not have the seasonal items. So we want to actually go thrifting or go to a estate sale, what have you. I'm going to talk about this later, but I'm actually now suggesting that people, if they can have a friend help them during their live, to have a friend, have a live friend. So start to ask if anyone's available to come over to support you. Make sure you have proper shipping envelopes, boxes, tissue paper, printer ink, your live materials, and other necessities for shipping. We're going to go over shipping later on. 1 week before, finish sourcing so that you have that, you know, the next 7 days to prepare. Review garments, decide what to feature, clean or repair what's needed. I'm not emphasizing this enough with the slide, but making sure that your garments are clean is really important. Vintage is tricky because sometimes we don't clean vintage. When I list an item that I've never cleaned, I say so. But of course, if it's dirty, like it's visibly dirty, or it smells, if it smells like perfume, if it smells like BO, whatever, please don't sell it. There have been complaints from other groups that this has been something that happens. And it's just rude. It's just really rude to sell someone something that smells. So that is my point there. Ensure that you have the proper supplies and materials. Again, back to 2 weeks before. This is just double check you have everything. And at this point, feel free to let the group know that you're going live. I'm going to talk about this in other slides, but you can let them know, hey, I'm going live in a week. I'm so excited. But no sneak peek videos. The sneak peek video is going to be the day of. Betty actually caught some people doing that, which is fine. It happens. But the reason that we don't want sneak peek videos until the day of is so that people aren't confused about who's going live, and it doesn't distract from the actual live seller. 3 days before, prepare your measurements for your garments. Tag them into your garments, prepare your presentation space, organize your garments, steam and hang 2 days before. If you can enroll a friend, a live friend, confirm that they can support. Test your lighting and record a video to practice the motions of hosting a live sale. Watch yourself for feedback. Sorry, I have a typo here. Make a post in the group to let them know that you are going live in 2 days. Now, this test video, the reason I'm suggesting it is because a lot of us are not used to being on camera. We're really uncomfortable. That's totally fine. We're not all, you know, talented at all the same things. And some of us are going to really love being in front of the camera, and some of us are going to sweat bullets every time. But if you can at least pretend like you're going live to like no one, it's going to help to ease some of those, what if this happens? What do I say here? How do I have an expression that makes sense? Like it will help to calm your nerves. And so that is something that, you know, whether it's 3 minutes or you actually pretend for 30 minutes, I do suggest doing that just so that you feel better about going live. Okay, so 2 days before, we did that. 1 day before. I will have emailed you a complete guide to going live. We're not going to talk about that guide today, but I just want to reiterate that I do email everyone at least 3 or 4 days before they go live. And then if you have questions, to message me, ideally at least a day before, so that I can help you. Now film your sneak peek video 1 day before with yourself talking to camera and sharing a few sneak peek items, as well as an overview of your collection. I'm suggesting this 1 day before just so that you're not running around, but you're still gonna post it the day of. We're gonna talk about these sneak peek videos later on. Day of, post your sneak peek video. Now you're gonna post it to Thrift Babes and Thrift Boss Babes. If you want to post it to the business page, you can as well. This business page is where you're going to accept admin status and you're gonna go live on this business page. I'm not teaching you guys to go live on the business page during this presentation, because that's something I'm gonna work with all new sellers, you know, one by one, but just know that you go live on this business page, and that the day of is when I request for you to be admin and you have to accept. Review your presentation outfit, review your presentation area, tell your family you're busy, charge your phone, ready, set, go. So of course, everyone's gonna have a different process because we all have different schedules, but it does take a long time to prepare for a live, so give yourself at least 2 weeks out to start the process. Okay, so these hang tags, I don't have an example with me, but if you are a new live seller, this is what you absolutely must have in order to have those measurements. Go on Amazon, you can see a quick example here, and just buy some plain hang tags and then buy some safety pins in bulk. And on the hang tags, write the waist, the bust, the rise, the inseam, and any other details that you want to have for that item. Pin that hang tag with that safety pin, put it behind the garment. Here's why. If you're holding up a garment, okay, so this is one of my favorite blazers. It's an old Michael Kors blazer. I hope you guys can see it. I'm gonna make sure you can see it on. Yep, so if you're holding up a garment, but you've pinned the measurements here, you're gonna be like, okay, and it's bust and then waist, and it won't look as professional. People won't be able to see the item. But if you're able to get it to hang down the back, this is, I am done explaining myself. This is something my friend made for me. But if you have this hang tag down the back, so basically you're holding it up like this, you're reading out loud the bust and the waist or whatever, you're moving it around, and you're not like flipping it over, trying to find it and trying to read it. If you need more support with this, feel free to reach out to me. I feel like this is a really imperative part of having a successful live sale. And definitely start to make these tags, you know, at least a week before your live, or I'm sorry, at least 3 days before your live sale, ideally not the day of. So let's talk about promotion day of. This is a really important part of this presentation for you guys all to succeed to your max capability, or your max potential. Marketing it's difficult. And what I've tried to create with the Thrift Boss Babes, Thrift Babes brand, is the chance for everyone to be seen and to have an opportunity to market themselves. And this day of promotion is a really important part of that, particularly if you are a new seller. So when you guys get these slides, again, you'll be able to click these links and you can check out these day of sneak peeks There's two ways you can do a sneak peek. So you can be like Natalie. She's talking, you know, in front of her clothes. She's going to show some of her clothes. She's going to give an overview of her collection, no more than 2 minutes. But she's talking and you can see her and you're like, oh, that's a friendly face. I'm excited, you know, to see her live tonight. I'm going to be able to recognize her face when she goes live, because we're getting new buyers all the time. So even if you've been in Thrift Babes or Boss Babes for a year, it's good to reintroduce yourself. Or you could be like Trisha and you can have no face. Now, you know, that was her choice because her items were so colorful and beautiful. And she talked behind the camera and, you know, she showed some things, she pulled some things out, and she, you know, had about 18 likes, which is pretty good. So she was able to reach her audience that way. I do believe that showing your face is probably the better route, only because, again, I want people to know who you are. And I want people to feel like, oh, that's a friendly face, or I like her voice, or she seems cool. I'm excited to see what she has. So Maggie hosted her first sale last night, and her sneak peek was great. I was very proud of her. So you can click this link again and go check that out. But she's just standing in front of her rack. She's saying, hi, I'm Maggie. You know, I'm about to go live tonight. I'm so excited. I'm going to have vintage. My price points will be this. My sizes will be this. I don't give you guys a script, but I do suggest, you know, sharing some basic information as to what people can expect right away. And then showing, you know, again, show the rack or show your room if you have a room, and kind of, you know, pan with your phone, pan where everything is. Pull out a few items. I can't let you show every single item or you would be recording a video for 30 minutes, but a few key items, because again, that gives people a taste as to what to expect. So this checklist has a bunch of what I just said, so definitely refer back to this just so that you can understand, okay, how can I take advantage of my day of promotion? Now, these links are all the places that you can post that day of promotional video. Thrift Babes, Thrift Boss Babes, and the live shopping business page. May I repeat that you actually go live on this business page. This is because we have something called the virtual shopping assistant. It can only be activated on the business page. It's unfortunate. I wish that weren't the case. But what I do is I physically share your video from the business page to Thrift Boss Babes and to Thrift Babes so that they get the alert that, you know, you're live. But people also like the business page, so they also get a direct alert that you're live. So if you post a video to all 3 of these pages, basically that's your entire audience that you can reach during your live sale. And then I'm gonna see, okay, these are just, you know, some points that I've already made. Promoting your live sale is key, especially if you're a new seller, so that people know who you are, know your face, come to expect what you have to offer. And then please don't post earlier than the day of, at least the promotional sneak peek video. You can let people know that you're going live. I'm actually encouraging that now. But don't usurp someone else by posting your sneak peek the day before. Just do it the day of. And then if you can remember to tag me, I don't always see things and I'm busy, but if you tag me, then I'll see that notification and I'll be able to pin it to the announcements. So let's talk about actually promoting in the days leading up to the live sale. This is something new. This isn't something I've really told people to do, but I like it. I'm seeing some really great results. And so I want to continue to, I guess, communicate this to new sellers and pre-existing sellers for their lives that, hey, like, give yourself a shout out, because unfortunately, people need 7 impressions sometimes to make a choice or to convert to buy something. So it is a good thing for you to promote yourself a few times. This is actually my good friend, Emily. I love her. She's very kooky in the best of ways, as am I. But she's really excited for her live sale. It's Tuesday night, and she's been promoting, you know, the fact that she's going live. In these posts, she did not share the items that, you know, she's going to be selling, but she basically talked about, what am I going to have? Who am I? Who am I as a seller? How am I feeling emotionally? Like, she's getting personal. And again, the reason that this is positive is because people start to know, like, and trust you. And they're like, oh, she's funny. like, oh, you know, Betty, she just moved into a new condo. I'm really excited to see how she set up for her live sale. She's been telling us all about her new live setup, and I'm really curious to see. So I'm going to check out her live sale. That, I mean, really, Betty sharing her new setup to promote her next live sale could change a few people's minds as to whether they're going to make time to check out her live sale. This is Valerie. Again, back to Valerie. She's just been an all-star, really threw herself into the group. And she, again, just from a really excited place. She was really excited for her first live sale. And I saw her making these posts, and I'm sitting here like, this is really smart. So again, she's just talking about, you know, the fact that she's going to have these different items in her live sale, but this photo, I don't know. I mean, she could have tried to sell these in her live sale. I don't know, but she wasn't saying that they were going to be for sale. So there's always going to be a gray area, but I think you guys know, just to respect the space of, you know, not pre-promoting the actual items that you're selling until the day of. Now, Valerie, back to just how she's succeeded. She came into her group a few months ago, and she just really started becoming a member. If you're a live seller and you're on tonight, or you want to be a live seller, or you're someone that's tuning into this replay, please do not, I'm being really straight and direct, please do not expect to sell things to people that you've never connected to. It's just really important that, especially as we cultivate this community, it's called social selling for a reason, that we're social, that we give. We make posts in the group. We post our ISOs, which this was a really great example. We give information for free. We try to help our fellow sellers, or we make comments. We say, that looks great. I love your style, like anything. But I've seen a few sellers that have, you know, signed up for my sales. They've been MIA in the groups, and they, you know, set up to sell, and they don't do that well. They're not hitting $500. They're not hitting $500, which again, that's sort of my benchmark for a successful seller. They're not hitting that price point because they're just not connecting with the group. So again, back to that know, like, trust. If you want to be a successful seller in Thrift Babes and Thrift Boss Babes, you do want to become a member of our community. Now let's talk about pricing. I want you guys to know that I respect your pricing, and there's never going to be any, you shouldn't have priced it that way, or you priced it too low, or you priced it too high. Sometimes they say that, you know, maybe it would have been better, you know, if you even asked another $10, just because I think that item was awesome and it sold really quickly. But it's really, at the end of the day, it is up to you. The only thing that I want to iterate, because I've seen how it's created a culture in other groups, is to try not to just be cheap in the sense that you're selling everything for $5. This is not a community for that. And the reason for that is that I want there to be a less is more approach. I'd rather, you know, sellers sell 20 items for $25 each than 50 items for $5 each, to get about the same, you know, overall profit. So there are a few things to ask yourself, however, when pricing. And the most important thing that I do want to remind people is that we are live selling, and live selling is a little bit of like a, what are the treasures I'm going to find in this live sale? So, you know, you might ask $80 for an item on Etsy, but you're only going to ask $45 for that same item on a live sale. So that's just something to keep in mind. Items under $50 historically sell the best, but I've seen a few items sell, or at least people have interest in items over $50. So I don't discourage you. I no longer discourage people from, you know, selling a few things over $50. But I don't think you're going to be as successful if you actually try to, oh shoot, Bonnie's been waiting. Oh, I hate this waiting room. Sorry guys. I think Bonnie's in now. Okay. Bonnie, if you're here, I'm so sorry. Zoom has a waiting room. So unlike before, people could just jump in. And now I need to actually see that you've requested. So I apologize if you've been waiting for a long time. But put yourself on mute and you'll get the replay so you can catch up.
It's me, Sammy.
Hey, Bonnie.
I'm sorry, I just barely. Did I miss anything?
No worries. I have a waiting room now, so I'm sorry. I didn't see that you had requested. It's kind of frustrating. I think Zoom just added it. But
there we are.
don't worry, we're just getting into the meat of this. So put yourself on mute, and I will make sure that you get the replay, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Oh, good. Sammy, you're the best. Thank you. I'm
I
always
try.
doing, hi, everybody.
Hi, Bonnie. Okay, guys, sorry. I'm
Okay,
gonna jump right back into this just to make sure that we're on time, but that is frustrating that Zoom has that now. Make sure no one else.
But how do I find mute?
Okay, are you on your phone?
Yeah, sorry.
Mute should be, if you touch the screen, it should show up at the bottom.
Oh, there we go.
You got it? Okay, cool. All right, cool guys, we're here. This is Zoom Life 2020. We make it work. Okay, so back to pricing. I'm not gonna go over all of these questions one by one, but these are some questions to ask yourself. And really the basic points are things under $50 will sell. That's just what our group wants. That's what our buyers want. If you want to ask, more than $50 for a few items, absolutely go for it. I just wouldn't make your wholesale items over $50. And I'm really discouraging, the $5 to $10 blowout sales. You can host them, just kind of talk to me about it. But this is really just so that, our buyers don't think that they're always going to buy things for $5 to $10. I want to teach our buyers that, quality things might cost $10 to $15 more than what, they want to get it for. Because of course we all like to get really cheap things, but when we're supporting each other in this microeconomy, it's important to have higher price points. So a few things for, just as you promote your sale in the sense of the deals you have. I used to ask people to give me like, okay, do you want to offer free shipping, or do you want to do buy two, get one half off? And I realized really quickly that the customers don't really care. I still see some people do it. Obviously this is your sale, but I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't offer free shipping at all, first of all, because it's going to really cut into your price point sometimes, where you don't make as much money. And if you're new to shipping, you might make some mistakes, and I don't want you to lose more money. Let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah. So I don't suggest free shipping, but what I do suggest, if you ever want to do a sale angle, in the sense of what I think works, and again, this is just based off seeing all of these live sales since April 2020 when we started, I would do an all items $20 sale. The reason for $20 is, again, if you sell 20 items, you're going to make 400. But if everything's $10, you have to sell a lot of items to make $400. You have to sell 40 items. That's a lot of items. And again, $20, it's a comfortable price point where people are like, I'll spend $20 plus shipping, but it's not super cheap, but it's like just at that price point, maybe even $25. And it makes things easier because the customers know, oh, everything's going to be 20 or everything's going to be 25. So if you want to do a sale angle where you're like, yay, I'm hosting a sale, this is an idea for you. Another idea is at the end of your live sale. So your live sale could have $35 items, $50 items, $25 items, but the final 10 items are $10. So just let your customers know in your pre-marketing and during the live sale that those final items are all $10. Why do I suggest this? Because some people, psychologically speaking, might want to stay until the very end. What's going to be $10? Some people who have already, committed to a sale from you or an item from you, they might just add something else for $10 because why not? It's $10. I'm just going to add it. So, the final 10 items or the final 15 items, if you can go through them a little bit more quickly because they're just $10, that's an idea for you to kind of add that, blowout sale component. And then buy two, get one of same or lesser value half off. Again, I don't really think the audience calculates in their heads. I don't think they're sitting here like, okay, I bought two, let me get a third because I know I'm going to get one of them half off. I really don't think they're doing that. But if you want to do it as a courtesy, go for it. And if anyone, who's watching this live right now, if you've seen success with a buy two or buy three, get one half off, let me know. The only way I could see that it could actually help in the long run, but it's more communication, is if a customer buys two items and you say to them, oh, you didn't get a third, you know, one of these will be half off, you know, the one that's of equal or lesser value. And then, you know, they might go back and watch your live and say, oh, I'll add that as a third item, but it takes a lot more time for you. So in the end, I don't know if it's worth it. Now, here are some titles for promoting your live sale. And I've never, ever said this before. And it's something that I really feel like could change the game for some people. Everyone wants to feel like they're going to like a themed something, right? Especially right now, a lot of us are at home, we're not going to events. And you know, it's just exciting. Like, I'm going to Pieces from the Vault sale, or I'm going to Nothing But Dresses sale. If you have the inventory or the capability of creating some sort of fun angle, again, not necessarily revolving around a $5 blowout sale or everything $8, you know, that super cheap angle, but more like, you know, again, just a way to add flavor to it. You know, some of these are really tacky. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of corny, but sometimes that works. So again, if you know, even if you're like, you love estate sales and you're like, you know, all the stuff from estate sales that's taking up space in my house, that's a really long title. But if you could figure something out around that idea, for me as a buyer, I would be like, oh, she shops at estate sales and she's from Louisiana? That's really interesting. I wonder what she has. So it's thinking a little bit more along those lines. So if you ever want to host something like this or create some sort of marketing title, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so we got to keep on moving here. All of us have seen live sales, but I feel like a lot of us don't really understand what makes a live sale so successful. What are those small tweaks? First and foremost, having an attractive backdrop or an area of your home with a plain background where you can set up your clothes is the most ideal. If you have a room for your clothes, but it's disorganized and you can see that during the live sale, it's just gonna leave a bad taste in the viewer's mouth. This is Jax. Her head is down here, but the reason I took the screenshot is so you could see how beautiful her background is. When she first went live in Thrift Boss Babes, I was just like, this is it. It's the perfect lighting. You can see all the colors behind her. She has shoes above. I believe that's just a plain wall right there. But it's really, really, really nice, and it just pulls you in. Now, we all have different homes. We all have different lives, different setups. We have children, we have husbands, we have dogs. We might not be able to create something as beautiful as this, but trying to work toward that, or like I mentioned in an earlier slide, getting some sort of background that you can add to your wall just so that it creates this kind of oomph to your setup. Having clothing behind you, I already mentioned that. I really believe that's the best thing to do. I've seen some people go to the side and pull it onto the screen. If I'm tuning in to my Facebook feed and I don't see clothes in my thumbnail of the live video, I might not stop to watch. So that's why having the clothes behind you is good, because it, again, psychologically pulls someone in. So we're going to talk about ring lights. So all of us understand what a ring light is. I'm going to show you guys really quickly. I'm going to put myself on mute just so that you guys can see on my screen. Hold on. Put myself on mute here. Okay, hopefully I'm not echoing. Yes, I am. Okay, can you guys hear me now? I think you guys can hear me. I gotta stop sharing the screen. Hold on 1 second. All right, Zoom Life, right? Okay, so this is my ring light. Ta-da! I know this feels kind of basic. Here, I'm gonna put myself on spotlight video. That's what I need to do. Okay, we're figuring this out, guys. So you guys can see me right now. I'm on my phone. So I don't have a ring light where you can attach the phone in the middle. But again, the link that you guys are gonna get, if you don't have a ring light where you can put the phone, it makes it a lot easier. This ring light, like most ring lights, it can bend. So I can actually move this and I can push it back and I can push it forward. So when you're setting up your ring light, and if you need to just bend it over,
because I don't know, you're a little bit short, or you need to put it elevated the way that mine is right now, because right now I'm sitting on this counter, so it made more sense for me to put it here. But this is a very tall ring light. It's about 60 inches. You can get selfie ring lights, which are probably about this high, but that's not gonna work for a live sale. You really need to get the tall ring light. And this ring light does not have a changeable, it's not a changeable bulb, but it's something you can put on top to change the color. But what it does have is I can dim the lighting ever so slightly. It doesn't really make a huge difference, but the new ring lights, most of them you can kind of change the coloring. So you want to play around with your ring light. Make sure that you have it positioned correctly. It's the right height, and you always want to have it in front of you. So you guys can see, as I flip this around, you know, you can see how nice my lighting is. If I turn it off, I know this is really basic, but I just, you know, I'm here, but I'm not as lit up. And on a live sale, this just isn't going to register as well on the screen. So when I turn it back on, okay, here I am. Now here's some of the issues that you might come across when hosting a live sale. Is the closer you get to the ring light, it blows you out. So you do have to notice as you're holding things up to the screen. We're going to talk about this in a slide in the future. You do have to notice, I'm going to put this down here because see, I'm still really blown out because I'm holding it so close to the ring light. You do have to notice, again, see how, you know, I'm shiny here. If your item is going to get really shiny when you hold it up. Now this is in focus. This is really, really great. But probably, do you see how it's blown out there? You want to make sure that that's not happening to your item. So again, I suggest that you play around with your ring light so that you get used to it. Or else during a live sale, you might end up not actually showing your items and people don't see them and you're moving so quickly that you don't have a chance to really hold them back up to the camera. So I'm going to take this off now. We're going to get us back. Here. Okay, now I'm back, right? So if you, oh, I see Joy shaking her head. Okay, cool. I'm calling this Zoom life, just trying to figure out all the ways to feel like I'm creating an in-person experience. So I'm gonna come back to sharing my screen and see where we were. Let me know in the comments if you guys like your ring light, if you feel satisfied with it. I'm not trying to get anyone to buy a new ring light, but I will share mine is about 2 years old. And the ring light that I've linked in this, this presentation is probably the best ring light to get for all of those extra, you know, how to basically, so you can put your phone, so you can change the coloring, all of those things. Okay, so we talked about that setup. So here are the things that, again, you know, just to reiterate, these are the things that you're gonna want for your live sale: your ring light, your clothing rack, an attractive background. These are the 3 main things, in addition to your numbers and your hang tags for your measurements. So we can just skip over that. Here's a couple of issues that could come up during your live sale. This is kind of like these are all the things I've seen happen during a live sale. You could get a phone call. You can put your phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't know how to do it with an Android. I don't know if it always works. If you get a phone call, just decline it. You will go right back to your sale. It will not end your sale. It will pause you to your viewer, but it won't end your sale. Your phone overheats and turns off. This happened to one of our live sellers, bless her heart. She had to start again, but she was outside. So just make sure that, you know, it's not 85 degrees or higher wherever you are, because it might overheat your phone, because when your phone's going live, it's a lot of energy. Your Wi-Fi is not strong and there are pauses or glitches. I have seen this. I have seen some sellers get kicked off and they have to go live again. You play music and Facebook shuts down your live. If you are playing music, Facebook will turn you off. So please, no music. Here's a few ways to improve your live sales. And some of us on tonight have hosted live sales a few times. So these might be some things for you to think about.
Enroll a model and coordinate a way for that model to walk out wearing particular outfits, especially if those outfits are at a higher price point. I've seen a few sellers do this. It's so much fun. It's fresh. It's just different. So, you know, not all of us have someone that can just come over and model, but if you do, definitely try to add that into your live sale. Enroll a friend to be you on Messenger and in the comments. So I saw this for the first time last night. Maggie, who went live, she's in Texas. She enrolled her friend to be her in the comments. So her friend was on her Facebook, writing back to people in the comments of Maggie's live, also communicating with me, because we had an issue last night because Maggie did not go live in the business page. So the virtual live assistant did not activate. But because her friend was her, we were able to actually have Maggie share a couple of items that people were requesting her to share again in the comments, and that led to sales. So when you're live, I don't really suggest that you look through the comments. I mean, you can, but I would do it at the very end. But if you have someone who's there to support you and can kind of do it live in the comments and connect with people in the comments, it does just improve the whole experience for everyone. And last but not least, you could hold a professional sign with your name or price list. I've seen a few people do this. These are often used for like children's birthdays or their first day of school, but you can grab one on Amazon. You can put your brand name, you can put your price list, you can put the name of your live sale, and you can hold it up at the beginning. It's just a fun little extra thing that just adds that professional touch, that fun, unique professional touch to your live sale. Okay, so I'm not going to go over these questions one by one, but these are the questions that I get the most. So I wanted to put them out there for you. The one that I do want to go over is how many items should you share for sale on a live sale? Think of it this way. If you do 60 items, it's about 1 item per minute. If you do 80 items, I think this math is right. It's about 1 item per 45 seconds. If you do 100, it's 1 item per 35 seconds. I'm very flexible with my live sales, but I am enrolling more people to help me with them, and they might not be as flexible as me, where I say, okay, have another 5 minutes. So if you really are sticking to your 60 minutes of selling, I suggest 1 item per 45 seconds. So I suggest about 80 items is realistic. I've seen people hit 100 items, but they're talking as fast as I am, you know, sometimes fumbling, because when you speak very quickly, you can't find your words and you kind of get too ahead of yourself. And I want you guys to feel comfortable and professional, and just to recognize that also, and we're going to talk about this at another point, but it's, we're actually going to talk about it right now. It's important to give your audience a chance to see the item. So like, imagine if I were like, okay, here's this blazer. It's houndstooth. It has this really fun back. You know, it's Michael Kors. There you go. You know, really cool, really great for fall. Okay, number 1, comment sold. Like, you know, I think that was about 15 seconds. But it just, you know, sometimes people need to linger on an item. So give it a beat, also so that you can hold things up. You can make sure the lighting catches and it focuses on your item. So when you guys are presenting, the first 10 minutes is technically before your live spot. So when you start to chat with me, I will tell you, okay, your live's at 8 o'clock, please go live 7:50. And the reason I say this is so that you can go live, people see that you went live, they join the live, and I have time to share you out. And this is really, again, so that you can win, so that when you start your live, you know, you've got a good amount of people that are ready to listen, versus people are still coming in around 8:15 and they haven't seen the first part of your live. So this is where you can, again, really brand yourself, but also go over the, like, you know, the housekeeping stuff. Introduce yourself, talk about your excitement, what attendees can expect. Ask viewers to answer questions such as where they're tuning in from, or if they have a drink tonight, whatever. Remind them to leave their PayPal emails for PayPal invoicing. Explain how the virtual shopping assistant works, etc. Timing, we kind of covered this, but this is, I love Maggie. I hope she doesn't mind that I'm sharing this, but She was sharing some jewelry last night, and I was just like, oh no, we can't see it, because she was holding it up to the camera, and as you can see, it was completely blown out. That just looks like a box to me, but I know that she was sharing some sort of crystal item. So again, you know, just make sure that you've got your ring light, you understand how to use it, you understand where to hold your items so that it doesn't blow out, and you give yourself time to make sure that everything adjusts. Now, the final minute of your live sale, just remind people to drop their PayPal addresses and to check their PayPal by the hour that you promised to send their invoices. I do believe that sending invoices right away is ideal. I know those of us that are on Eastern Standard Time, it can become kind of late. If you can't send your invoices that night, okay, that's fine. Let them know that you're gonna send them by 12 o'clock the next day. Whatever works for you, but try to share that with your audience. And then this is hyperlinked. This hyperlink is actually of Jack's, so that you can see how she holds up her items, how she shows the details, and how she waits for the lighting to catch and focus. So when you're going live, you should always go live with a description. So this is me earlier today, taking a screenshot. Write your description before you go live. I've seen so many people the last few weeks not write a description, and I just laughed to myself. I mean, it's totally fine. I don't know if it really hurts, but it always helps to have this information in your description. First of all, you can promote your social media, and then you have more information for any new customers. And you can say on the live, in my description, I have, you know, my Etsy, my Instagram, my eBay, like whatever it is, versus saying it out loud on the live. People aren't going to write it down, and you can't really write it in the comments while you're on the live. So this is a basic template. You can add more. You can add emojis. You can make a joke, but this is as professional as it gets. So you
Hey, Sammy,
yeah.
how do you do that?
How do you write the description?
Yeah.
So right now, if you're going to go onto the business page, it's not going to let you go live because you're not an admin. But once you're an admin, you remember that you can, you know, you press the live button. And before you start your live video, I don't know if you can see my mouse here.
Yes.
It's there's an area. You can't tell right now, but I write your description before you go live. So you should be able to. I have an iPhone, you have a Droid, so it's going to look a little bit different because it's an iPhone. Check it out on Thrift Boss Babes, like, because I guess it's a little bit different than the business page. I'm going to make you admin later. Just message me, and then you can try it out. I don't know if you wrote a description for your last live.
I did not. I didn't really know how to do that. I've seen it on other people's lives, and you know, I saw people pinning, but I'm like, how did they do that? So
you can pin comments. Yes.
I'm sure it's easy. I just didn't really pay attention to it. Okay.
No, it's okay. It's interesting because again, it's a business page, so it's different than a Facebook group. So a lot of us are, even myself, I'm not great with business pages. I'm like, what is in this maze of things? But yes, for anyone who doesn't understand how to write the description, feel free to message me, so that you can, you know, fully understand what to click, because it's literally about where you click on the screen.
Thank you. You're
welcome. Thank you for interjecting. I love this. Okay, so really quickly, after you host your live sale that is very successful and makes you at least $500, you're going to receive the live sale results from myself or a shopping assistant. They're going to look like this. Those of us who have never hosted a live sale before, you can anticipate this visual. You're going to see the person who won the item and the item number, their total items that has no relevance, invoiced has no relevance, shipped has no relevance. This is for another level of this virtual shopping assistant. But what has relevance is the waiting list, second and third, because people, you know, want your items, and a couple of people might comment sold with that number, but the virtual shopping assistant fairly says the first person who actually commented with the timestamp of their comment. And then when we go back to this page, I do make a point here that, you know, step 3, occasionally the virtual assistant makes mistakes. If that's the case, I will help you work it out. That has happened before. It is technology, you know, it will make a mistake. Now, most people who are tuning in know to leave their PayPal. I'm also, making comments in the comments to let people know to leave their PayPal. We did have a few new customers last night, which was exciting, that didn't leave their PayPal. If people don't leave their PayPal email, just send them a message over Facebook and tag them in one of the groups to check their filtered messages, because it doesn't show up in your main message, or just write back to them on the comments of your live video. So you can at them and say, hey, Mary, you won item number 10, but I need your PayPal email. Why do we use PayPal? Okay, a couple of reasons. It has seller's protection. You're gonna lose a little bit of money, but if someone wants to say that they never got their item, you have that tracking number to verify that you did send it and that it did deliver, so that, they're not gonna fight you in the court of online selling trying to get their money back. It also just facilitates the entire process. From a really professional point of view, you can keep track of the amount of money you made. You can keep track of, obviously who you invoiced, what their emails are. You understand what your customer base is, who your customer bases are. In the past, obviously, we were doing Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, whatever worked for people, but really fine-tuning it to PayPal, which most people have. If they don't, I think you can work it out with them. It's up to you. But PayPal just really is the most professional and safest way and easiest way for you as a seller to invoice people. Okay. Yeah, step 4. I'm going to go over this in another slide, but you can make a post in the group after you've sent out invoices saying, hey guys, had a great sale tonight. Sent out all the invoices, check your PayPal. And that way people are reminded, oh, I have to check my PayPal. So really quickly over here, I made a fake, I guess, PayPal money request. And what I did is I spelled out all of the items. You can't really see it here. I couldn't screenshot the whole thing, but I spelled out all the items and the prices. And then I put the shipping price. I don't know if people are doing this normally, but the reason that I wanted to teach it and to mention it tonight is I have had one customer mention to me that she wants to get a list of the items that she bought so that she can use it for tax write-offs, which she's obviously a reseller, so she's buying items from the sales to resell. But it is just a really nice courtesy versus just putting $85 in and pushing request now. So if you can write the item, the price of it, and the total shipping. And then if you scroll down, I actually wrote something like, thank you so much for shopping with me. I hope you love these items. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Etsy. You can write more information just so that it's there in front of their face. And obviously so that you have your own documentation. All right, so shipping. I'm not gonna go over this right now, but I wanted to include it because one of the hiccups of new live sellers is they're like, oh, these live shopping parties, they're so great. I'm gonna clean out my closet and I'm gonna host a live shopping party. And then they don't know how to ship, and they are messaging me, or they're losing money because they don't know how to ship. So shipping is really, really, really important. And I can't teach shipping in this workshop, but I can give you some key points. And I can also suggest, if you're watching this replay or watching the live, that you can purchase a replay of my shipping workshop. It's only $25. If you click here, it will take you to that landing page. You can purchase it and it will deliver to your email inbox. But I am gonna point out one key thing about shipping. I'm going to go back to that slide. I have seen this work really well for Natalie Pennington Rains. So if you are, watching this right now, or you're watching a replay and you're like, I just don't understand shipping, it seems so complicated, you can make it easy on yourself, but you have to be willing to potentially lose $1 here or there. So what Natalie does, if you see right here, is she has a shipping 1 to 2 items, $8, 3 to 5 items, $10, above is $13. Here's another way of doing it. You could have 1 item, if it's less than a pound, $5. That's just first class shipping. Again, I'm not teaching you guys shipping tonight, but that's basic. 1 item, if it's over a pound, it's gonna, be about $7. 2 items, it's
still about $7 because it can still be in the same envelope. 3 items, you might want to charge 10 because you might not be able to fit them in a smaller poly mailer and it's going to weigh more. And then 4 items plus $12. Now let's say it actually costs $16 because you're shipping from Pennsylvania to California and it's a 4-pound package. Okay, you lost $4. But the point of the matter is that you're not wasting all this time going into something like Pirate Ship or PayPal and putting in people's zip codes and calculating the shipping and adding it to the invoice with the cents, you know, $6.12. You're just saying, okay, you bought 2 items, it's $7. And you're clearly communicating that up front. Whatever that system is for you, whether you're a new seller or an advanced seller, you can figure that out for you. But I do advise, if you are a new seller, to do the research you need or take my replay, because some customers have communicated with me that they get a little turned off by high shipping, and they get turned off because they think that they're being taken advantage of. They think, oh, they're trying to make another extra $3 to $4 off of me, when a lot of us know in reality what the minimum shipping cost should be. So it is important, if you want to create a strong seller reputation, that you understand shipping and you understand how to give your customer the best shipping deal. Cool, guys. So again, I could go over this all day, but that's, you know, obviously another workshop. I do want to point out packaging. I recently had a complaint about a seller. She was selling more high-end things and she wasn't packaging. She was kind of throwing things in, which, you know, I'm going to say for, you know, I've done that before. I've done that in the past, where I just wanted to reuse old bags or old tissue paper because I want to be sustainable. But we really are, you know, as a community, stepping into being a more professional, just again, revered, respected group of sellers. So it is important that we package our items as such. So Joy is on tonight. This is actually Joy's package to me, because I bought these awesome things from her in her live sale. And so she has stickers. She has a thank you card. She wrapped her items in tissue paper and she put it in a plastic envelope. So just for the sake of showing you guys some visuals, these are my stickers that say thank you, Thrift Babes Threads. So I put them on my tissue paper. When I wrapped my items with tissue paper, sometimes I need more tape just to make sure it's secure. And then I always put my items in a plastic envelope as such. This one's pretty big, but this just gives it a little bit more protection before I put it in my, this is not a branded poly mailer, but these are the ones that I bought because I love this phrase. Obviously, you have great taste. And then these are some stickers that I bought that I'm now going to include with my purchases. These are my Thrift Babe stickers. So some of you might be thinking, wow, Sammy, that's a lot. You don't have to do all of this. But at the bare minimum, you know, you don't want to just wrap your item in a grocery store bag, you know, or just have it kind of feel plain Jane and not personal. And again, this is really because as live sellers, you know, we're establishing a brand, or daily posters, we're establishing a brand. Some of us are cleaning out our closets, but we want this to feel like, hey, you know, you bought something from someone who cares, who really cares about the presentation of the product. So let's talk about post-sale promotion. And this is really important. So open your ears, because a lot of us, you know, don't do this. And I want to make sure that you guys fully understand what I want to give to you as live sellers who are purchasing an opportunity to sell for $47. So immediately after the sale, feel free, take a selfie. Hey guys, thank you for shopping. I loved selling to you. I had so much fun tonight. I'm so tired, you know, whatever you want to share. You can grab the live link of your sale from the group and post it with that, you know, after, you know, that right after your live sale post. If you can't find that live link, feel free to message me. But this is just another way of reminding people that you just hosted a live sale. And if you missed it, go check out the replay, because people buy from the replay. They can't always tune in live between 8 and 9 p.m. Once your invoices have been sent, whether that's later that night, it could be 12, it could be 1 a.m. or, you know, 12 p.m. the next day, post an update to the group letting them know that you've sent out your invoices.
And then within the next 3 days, post your what remains video. I don't have links to examples, but what I will say is that this is your chance to almost host another live sale. It's not a live video, it's a recorded video, but it's where you can stand in front of your clothes, the items that did not sell, and you can one by one go through the items that you have not sold yet. I do suggest that you go a little bit faster. I'd rather you not post a 60-minute recording. Most people hit about 20 to 25 minutes. And you just let your audience know, DM me or comment below if you would like anything in this video that is still available. You can post this to Thrift Babes, Thrift Boss Babes, and the business page. So you've got 3 places to post this video. I have seen some sellers make another $150 simply from posting a what remains video. So you never know how people are gonna find you. So it's good to take advantage of all of these opportunities. Now here's Valerie again. We love Valerie. She's been doing such a great job. She made this compilation post. She probably used some sort of app to put all these photos together. But she's sharing the items that she sold. She's saying, you know, that I sent all my invoices, you know, I'm going to ship everything tomorrow. She's basically giving us this update as to, you know, how she hosted her live sale and what the next steps are for us, the customer, to anticipate. So she's continuing to create that know, like, trust mentality so that when people see that she's selling again, they're like, wow, that Valerie was really good. I'm going to tune into her live. So here's a checklist after the sale. And this is going to be really helpful because I know I went over a lot of information that could just be, you know, spinning in your brain. But step 1, did you receive the live sale winners and did you receive the emails? I didn't mention this, but I do send you the emails, or an assistant sends you the emails that people dropped in the comments. I can do this with the shopping assistant. You don't have to worry about that. That technology you don't have to worry about. We take care of that for you. Step 2, did you send the invoices via PayPal to each customer? And if you don't have their PayPal email, did you somehow make contact with that customer? That's also step 3. Did you post a thank you selfie or post in the groups? It could even be a photo, you know, of your setup. It doesn't have to be your face. Did you record that what's left video and post it no more than 3 days after your sale? Did you make any post-sale, you know, post-sale promotional posts? Kind of like Valerie, you guys can continue to nurture this live sale and just let people know that you care and, you know, you're about to ship things, or I just shipped things, etc. Step 7 is an important one. I am giving customers 24 to 48 hours. I say 48 hours just because, you know, about midnight the next day. If you host your live sale at 8, by midnight the next day, have your customers paid. Then I would start messaging them being like, hey, I sent you your PayPal invoice. Did you see it? You're always welcome to message me. I am very strict about ghosters. I guess I'm pretty good at scaring ghosters because we haven't really had any like I've seen in other groups. But obviously, you know, if someone is not paying multiple times, I will ask them to leave the group. So you can always let me know. And then did you review the comments on your live? Because people comment after the live, they think that the virtual shopping assistant's working. So they'll comment, you know, sold 100, and you have to go back and find that comment because they don't always DM you. Again, this is part of customer service. Unfortunately, people don't always make the extra effort. So you have to make the extra effort for them. But you know, if people are commenting after you're live and they're commenting that they want to purchase things, you can obviously take that relationship wherever you want it to go. So you can, you know, DM them, or you can comment back to them, whatever works for you. And then next slide, I'm going to share with you something Maggie did that I absolutely love. And I'm like, 2 thumbs up, Maggie. That's how we do this. And then again, this is my pro tip, just to message customers who haven't paid, you know, 24 to 28 hours after your sale. So Maggie went live last night, guys, and Katina messaged or commented on her live 2 minutes before it ended, do you have any capes? Maggie did not sell any capes during her live, okay? But she messaged back 34 minutes before I took the screenshot. I have a red cape, a black cape, and a white lingerie type cape.
which that sounds really interesting to me. Would you like for me to DM you the details? Katina, yes, please. The black one. Thank you. Maggie's probably about to sell another $60 item just because she took the time to message this young woman who had an interest in something. Maggie didn't provide it on the live sale, but Maggie has it in her inventory. So I want you guys to think of these customers that comment as, leads. So take advantage of this opportunity. Something that I have spoken of in Thrift Boss Babes is that, of course, there's a difference between, poaching like a customer and actually supporting a customer. I love what Maggie did here where she said, would you like for me to DM you the details? Of course, Katina didn't say sold 100. If she says sold 100, I wouldn't hesitate messaging her just because that might, skip a step so that you can get to them quicker. But if they're just expressing interest or they have a question or they make a comment and you kind of feel like you can give them something or offer them something for sale, just ask them if they're willing to hear from you over their DMs. And if they say yes, there you go. So that's a really great pro tip that I'd love to see more people take advantage of. This is just an example of updating the group from Valerie, who wrote this wonderful post. She talked about how she actually donated $150 to Baylor University, which I believe is her alma mater in Texas. She gave away 30% on her sale. Like she shared all of these things. I'm not going to read this out loud, but take a look at this post just so you can see basically how expressive you can be. I really want you guys to feel like, you can, again, cultivate relationships with people and you can share personal things about your sale and just be open to our customer base. So here's our intermission FYI. This is like my PSA. I just want to remind people that, not everything is going to sell from your live sale. Also, do not compare yourself to other live sellers. There could be a huge variable that they had that you didn't, or that you have that they didn't. And really, again, sometimes the items that we have, the quality just isn't there. The trend isn't right now. It's off season, it's off trend. You just have to wait for the right buyer that feels like they have a need or an emotional attachment to it. This jumpsuit that I bought from a live sale, no one else wanted it. Like I was the one person who wanted it. Like I was that special person. So sometimes that special person just isn't on the live. And also, and I know Joy, she's someone who has worked retail for a number of years. She knows, as an example, retail stores never sell all of their inventory. So it's okay if you don't too. That is part of the business of resale. This is a slide. I'm not going to go over it right now, but because I know a lot of us are watching this live as a replay who are new resellers or fairly new resellers, this slide is going to give you a couple of questions to ask yourself or ideas as to how to bring down a price of an item or when to bring down a price of an item and how to almost remarket it to try to sell it in a different way. So definitely check this out once I send you guys the slides. So we are finally moving into the daily posting success process. I'm not going to open the floor for questions about live sales. I'm going to let that be at the very end. So if you have questions and you don't want to forget because we're moving to a different module, please write down your questions. But first and foremost, Thrift Boss Babes, I'm going to tell you guys some quick history about it because some of us are brand new and some of us on this exact workshop right now, and those of you watching the replay are obviously brand new. I started this community because some friends of mine have a membership community for photographers. They help photographers make money, which is so cool. And they said to me, well, why don't you start a membership community and you just share all of your knowledge and wisdom about thrifting? And I'm sitting and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do that with just thrifting knowledge. I was like, there has to be something else to it. There has to be another, for lack of better words, hook to it. So I was like, why don't I start a Facebook marketplace? And the way that I had it before was actually you had to pay to be a buyer as well. And that was the wrong angle. I didn't even know until I knew that was the wrong angle. So it was only about 70 people for, gosh, I guess like 6, 7, 8 months. But I tried to share as much information about resale as possible. And I created a lot of interviews. I created a lot of content. But when quarantine hit, I just had this light bulb moment and I said, you know what? I just need to open this up to everyone
start selling workshops. And if someone is a buyer and they want to become a seller, at least they've seen the group, at least they've experienced the group. You can enter the group, you can feel it out, you can trust that this works and that this is something for you. And I'm really proud of where we stand now, because obviously we're almost 2,000 members. We were like 70 or 80 way back in like January, I believe, of 2020. So we've come a long way since then. And the group is, you know, really about, again, it's a buy-sell marketplace that will always be first and foremost, but it is about connecting with other resellers, you know, on your own time, on your own schedule, asking your own questions. And then when I see what's possible, or when I see if I can create something for you of value, I will create it via a workshop, whether that's live, or offer you a replay that you can purchase to help level up your resale business. Thrift Boss Babes will never be an Etsy or an eBay. It just can't. It's a Facebook marketplace. But I have seen people make $200 to $500 plus monthly in this group, which I'm so proud of. But the way that it works is if you work it. So if you work Thrift Boss Babes, it will work for you. And that's the promise that I can absolutely make you. So we're gonna go over posting. We're gonna go over what is gonna create that magnetic attraction to a post. And a lot of us have things, back to this slide, a lot of us have things that are really beautiful, but we're just not presenting it just right. You know, there could be a small tweak that could change everything. So hopefully after this module, some of us might go back to our old posts and actually reshoot them or reconfigure them in a way and repost them so that people can actually see our items for what they are. So all of these posts that you're about to see are items that sold instantly. If I could snap, you would have heard me snap. This dress, I swear it must have sold in like 30 minutes. I know this sold on Instagram for the seller, but she still sold it right away. Here's another example. These are some shoes. My post is fantastic, but this is a dress I sold a few weeks ago. Here is an example of an item. So this item is for sale, and these items were used to configure an outfit. That's always okay. You know, of course, try not to sell things from that outfit. You know, I'm not always going to notice if you do, because technically you're not allowed to sell multiple things in one post unless it's sold under one price. But showing how something looks with an outfit is not a bad idea. Here's a great example of a shoe post, or I guess another shoe post, because there's a shoe post. Great example of a denim post. When you have pants, it's good to bend them so that you're not capturing this super long photo, because if you bend them up, you can so clearly tell that they're pants. She did a great job showing that label. This is another you know, great post with a mannequin. We're going to talk about mannequins and flat lays momentarily, but she also has a logo, and she consistently puts it in the lower right-hand corner. So she's branded her posts where you know that this is Stay Fly for Less. If you like her, the seller's name is actually Tasha. So if you like Tasha, you might stop and be like, oh, what does Tasha have? Because I noticed her logo. Because sometimes we see things visually before we even see the name. So again, these are just some examples of really, really, really good posts that really catch people's attention, whether it's because of lighting or the setup of the post, which we're going to talk about more in depth momentarily, or the fact that they took the original photo of the item, which is absolutely fine to do. You can see that she did this as well here. These are not her original photos. That's actually from this company's website. She also took the sizing chart, which is a really good idea, and she added it to the post. So those are some other ideas. Now here are some could be improved posts. So now I'm going to start to get into the nitty gritty, because I can show you good posts all day. But I want to show you what doesn't work and why it doesn't work. If you are on tonight's live workshop and this is one of your posts, just know that I say all of this with love, and it's really just to help you sell your item. But for the most part, these are all wonderful, wonderful items. They're just not visually depicted the best possible way. So you can tell right away, I don't even know what type of item this is. I can read the description. I'm pretty sure they're pants. They look like they're really cute pants, like from afar, but the lighting isn't that great.
you can see like another part of the doorway here, or I'm sorry, the hallway here. She could have taken a photo straight on, or she could have put them on the ground because it looks like there's like a nice carpet here that's like a neutral color. So this, again, it's cut off over here, so I can't see the whole item. This isn't a terrible photo, but the fact that this is cut off, just anything that's cut off does not work. Here's an example of a very cut off post. I mean, I guess it's a skirt, but I can't see that it's a skirt. So she could have taken this photo vertically and she could have posted it so that the vertical photo was here, and then she had 2 square photos here. So, you know, again, when you make your posts, or not again, let me tell you, when you make your posts, go and look at them and make sure that you can see the entire item. That's a really important thing. So again, back to this post, I can't see this entire item at first glance. I can click it and obviously see the entire item, but the best posts are gonna show the entire item right up front. So I can see the entire item, I can see the entire item, I can see the entire item, I can see the entire item. Nothing, I almost went to touch my screen, nothing is cut off. That's a little cut off, but still, it's not bad. You can see the entire item, a little cut off, but I can see the entire item. Can really almost see the entire item, really see the entire item with this one. The key is to take a photo, and we're gonna go over that later on, but the key is to take a photo with enough white space around it so that when it shows up on Facebook, it doesn't cut off the item. It's gonna take you some time to figure that out because, you know, you might think, oh, I need to crop it really tight, but you actually need some white space so that the way that it shows on Facebook, it's gonna show the whole item. And then you need to understand how to format your posts with a certain number of items, and like a certain, like either it's vertical or horizontal so that it shows in a aesthetically pleasing way. And so again, it's hard to explain. I'm gonna walk you guys through making a post on Facebook so you can actually see it live. But this post, as an example, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Laura is great. She's got great items. I wish that she would have made this the main photo so we could see it on her body, and then chosen 2 other photos to be, you know, over here, because it would have been main photo and then 2 other items here. And then she could have put the other photos in the comments. So if you have a lot of photos that you want to share, put them in the comments as opposed to filling up the entire grid where you can't ever see one item clear because it's taking up too much space with the multiple items. Again, this is just another example. I can't see the whole item. This, I can't see the whole item. It's just one photo. It's kind of at a down angle. This is at a down angle. It's not a bad photo. I can tell what the item is, but I think if it were taken straight on, it would have looked so much better. So this blazer is so cool. I can tell right away that it's so cool, but you know, again, someone that's just going through the feed really quickly and they're not used to, they're not used to, you know, buying from Thrift Boss Babes, they might scroll really fast and they don't actually stop to buy this item. But if there had been a little bit more white space, so you could actually see the blazer in its full glory, and then these detailed shots were even just in the comments, it would look a lot better. The skirt, same thing, it's really cut off. So I'm going to, you know, now that I'm talking through this, I'm gonna actually go on Facebook and share with you guys, you know, some ways to change how you're making your posts so that you can actually see, okay, I can, you know, I can move my posts around. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go over to Facebook right now. We are living this Zoom life. So you guys are gonna see my Facebook world. This is new Facebook. So new Facebook, I'm not gonna lie, I really hate it. And the reason I'm sharing new Facebook with you is because I don't know if classic Facebook is gonna be around much longer, even though I tend to go back and forth between new and classic Facebook. So if this is unfamiliar to you, you do have a functionality of changing to new Facebook. If you go up to your profile photo, I think right now it's not showing new Facebook because I'm on new Facebook, but it should be somewhere down here. And then it's still giving me the functionality to change back to old Facebook. But again, it's threatening that it's only for 48 hours. So I don't know when they're going to completely change it over. I really prefer old Facebook is my whole point. But let's pretend that we're making a post. We're going to sell something, guys. We've taken all of our photos. I just want to make sure you guys understand the best ways to format these posts. So I took a few photos here. I actually named them trial, but they're all kind of off. Sorry guys, let me move this so that I can, there we go. So let's pretend I'm just gonna put this photo down here. If I wanted to, I could just post this photo, right? And I could put the rest of my photos in the comments. But I'm gonna see what it looks like. And again, this, it could look really great, or I could decide I actually want to put it in the comments. This actually isn't that bad because again, it's showing the whole item, it's not cut off, and then it's showing part of the detail. But I took more photos, so I actually kind of want to add more photos. So let's see here. See, there we go, trial 3. Let's make sure that, okay. See, it starts to change. Here's where you should be having like aha right now. I can't see this cardigan in its full glory. It's gonna post, it's gonna look exactly like this. So if I'm, again, a customer and I'm not used to Thrift Boss Babes, I'm brand new or whatever, I'm lazy, I might not click that to look at it. So if I were smart, I'd go, okay, all right, edit all. This is brand new to me too, because I'm not used to new Facebook. So what I would do is I would take one out. This is what I would personally do. And I would either post these two side by side, and I'd put the other photos in the comments. So I'm just gonna make it like test right now. Or I would just post this one photo. Oh shoot, I got rid of both of them. New Facebook, sorry guys. New Facebook's so annoying. Or I would just post this one photo, because when the two are side by side, it kind of made them smaller. And I feel that it's more visually attractive just to post this one photo. So I'm not gonna actually post this because the seller is gonna be very confused why I'm posting her items for her. But once you make a post, okay, you can go into your post. So here's another one. Here's Fiona. I would have actually probably just posted, I would have tried to do 3 to see what it looked like and then posted these in the comments. But if you guys don't know how to do that, you just go attach photo or video, and you can just add the additional photos in the comments. I'm sure you've seen some sellers do this, but for those of you who haven't, this is how you do it. You can add more information, you press return, and it posts. So that is an example right there. Now, I'm trying to think if I can share with you these Gucci slides, if it's gonna be any different. So I also grabbed these Gucci slides. The funny thing is, so here are the Gucci slides. I was thinking to myself as I grabbed these photos, these are so cool, I hope they sell, but they did end up selling. So her post wasn't the best it could have been, but they did end up selling. So don't feel like you have to be perfect, but to improve, this is how you should be posting. So I absolutely love how this looks, because you can really see that shoe clearly. She had all of these photos. So she had it looking something like, I'm just gonna add these all here, just so you guys can see. Yeah, she had it like this. Okay, this isn't terrible, because you can kind of see almost all of the shoe here, and then you can see, the back and the soles and the insides. If I want to, let's say, okay, I'm gonna go back. Guys, sorry, we're getting really technical. If I like this photo, but I really want it to be there, or I really want it to be there, this is what you do. You go to edit all. This is new Facebook, keep in mind. You just move it like this. And you can play around just to see, okay, the way the Facebook formats my photos, where do I want my photos to go? So instantly that looks worse because there's less space. So ideally that's probably gonna be up there.
And you're just dragging them, right?
I'm just dragging them, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I just got rid of them again because I pressed that X. guys, I really dislike new Facebook, and I'm a millennial, so that's saying a lot. So I'm just gonna put these back. Okay, we have 4. Well, here we go. This is the point I was trying to prove. If I X out of that, I remove all the photos. So that's why I need to go to edit all to remove 1 photo at a time. But I wanted to remove 1 photo. Before this, it was 5. Now it's 4. Do you see how much more visually appealing this post is? Like you can see the shoes. Whoa, right away. And then the details on the side. What I can't tell you is exactly how Facebook's gonna format your photos, because we're all gonna take our photos differently. Some of us are gonna be more vertical, more horizontal. But it is good to take at least 1 vertical photo, because the vertical tends to fit really well here. So that's the secret, is for you to take some time as you're making your posts. You've got all these photos, make sure that it formats so that you can see the most of the item in at least 1 photo. If you want to just post 2 photos or 3 photos, if it looks good like this, awesome. Put the rest in the comments. It will make your post pop so much more. So I hope that this is supportive. I know that, again, sometimes the way that we teach things through technology, it's not really supportive until you start to do it yourself. But again, just looking at some of these posts, I think now that you understand how Facebook formats posts, you can kind of understand, okay, maybe this should have just been 1 photo and then these in the comments. But again, this photo, if it doesn't have enough white space, you know, it might not even show as much of the item as we want it to show, but that would have been a quick solution so that she doesn't have to take her photos again. I'm trying to think of another one here that would have been better. Again, she could have moved some of these into the comments so that what I believe is a vertical photo, that vertical photo would have been here, and then she would have had 1 in the upper right and one in the lower right, which is how that tends to format if one of the photos are vertical and you move it into that first slot. So just experiment and know that you have that power. You have the power to move your photos around and to put them in the comments to create the most aesthetically pleasing post. Now, this is my template for descriptions. I'm gonna just fly through this so that we can get to actually analyzing your actual posts in the group. I want to share with you that I have admin capabilities. So unfortunately, you guys can't make bullet points and highlight and make things bigger. So sorry. That's what you get when you're an admin. But you can use, you know, I don't know all the names for this. I know that's a tilde, I'm pretty sure. Or actually, tilde might be an accent. But you can use some of the characters on your keyboard to almost, you know, create little moments where you're like, you know, here's one detail, here's another detail, almost like bullet points, or to create separation between headlines. Create something that works for you. This is what works for me, also because of what I have as an admin, but I tend to start with a fun description sentence, plus a brief summary so quick skimmers can see if this would even work for them. So what's important is gonna be the size and the price right away. I usually put that at the very end. And then I do details, which is where, you know, I have some like personal conversation about it. I talk about maybe some flaws, or I talk about where I got it. I say, you know, if it's from the 60s or the 70s, or if it's modern. Measurements, I tend to sell things that I wear. So I always say my size, which I know is a personal thing, but that can help a lot of people. So just pro tip, you know, I know if I buy something from Betty, I know she's 5'6", so I just can kind of understand how it fits on her, how it's going to fit on me. And then price, obviously, you know, very, very important, and just spell that out, you know, at the end. This is something I didn't put in this presentation. It's completely up to you. I have noticed that including shipping in my prices makes things a lot easier for people. I don't know if it's just a psychological thing, but I stopped saying plus shipping, and I just add it right into the cost of the garment. So $30 shipped includes shipping. So that shipping could cost me $5, it could cost me $7. I just need to personally be comfortable with what that shipping is gonna be, which again, I'm not teaching shipping this workshop, but there are some standards and some expectations that as you improve as a reseller, you come to know pretty much what things are going to cost, so you can budget that into your overall price.
Pro tip, comment sold after an item has sold. Put it at the very top so that people, you know, obviously see that you're succeeding, that you're selling, and they come to trust you as a seller. And obviously so people don't think that your item is still available. Here's a couple more examples of really good descriptions. They're all very personal, you know, they're what that seller wants to write, but they have everything itemized in such a way that it's really easy for us as the buyer to understand what this item is. So to the left, we've got almost a title: Pat Argentine Sportswear, Wide Leg Silk Floral Gaucho Pants with Pockets. That's almost like an eBay title. But then she puts her, you know, approximate size, you know, not sure the age. She says where she bought them. She says, you know, that they're silk. And then measurements, really easy to read. Pricing, really easy. She adds something about, you know, be first to type sold and it's yours, PM me your PayPal email. You can, you know, add that, whatever works for you. Bundle and save, please ask questions, smiley face. Like, again, there's no perfect way to write a description, but what's most important is that you hit those beats that are in my template, and you do it in a way where the text is aesthetically pleasing and not one giant block. So here's another example. This is Laura Brown, which I don't know if Laura bought today's workshop, but if Laura, you're watching this, I absolutely love this beginning. I just would have put this later on in your post, because this is the most important information. I would have put that up top. So again, just a rule of thumb, put your most important information up top so that people, as they're reading, they know exactly if they should keep reading. Or they're just going to skip over it entirely. And then here's some more fantastic descriptions. This is from Laura. So again, she put her personal details down. These aren't super personal details. They're more like descriptive details, but she put all that important information up top. And she has her indents. You know, she could add, you know, some, like, I guess some hyphens. I guess they're hyphens, so that, you know, she can make some bullet points, which is what this seller did, which I really like how she did that. You can see that's really pleasing to the eye. So Laura could do that here. It could look a little bit better, but it's not bad. So this seller, she's selling two types of shoes. She's got, you know, her almost eBay title, important information, then she uses her hyphens to break things up. I love that she has the heel height. That's actually something I never thought to include. Features, you know, blah, 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 blah. So again, I didn't take screenshots of bad descriptions, but I'm going to verbally talk to you about, I guess they're not bad descriptions, because things can still sell if you just write, you know, size medium floral dress. Because if the item is the coolest item ever, it's going to sell, right? But the feedback I get from buyers, particularly, you know, when they're just really wanting to invest in a piece that's, you know, say $40 or $50, is they want to have all the information spelled out so that they're not going back and forth with you asking questions, because that actually can really push people away, because they're just frustrated. They're like, I just don't have time for this. So again, back to writing the best description possible, even if you feel like you're oversharing. It's just really so that if there is that type of customer that wants your item, they've got it all spelled out in front of them. And also, you know, say, you know, you do have an item that's flawed, or, you know, you want to say something about it, you know, that buyer, they know that information. Versus you telling them later on, you know, like right before they're about to buy it, oh, by the way, you know, I forgot to say there's a missing button. Like, no one wants to hear that after they've expressed interest in buying something. So I've seen some single phrase descriptions still sell things. I do want to, you know, say that from an honest place that it can still work. But I do suggest that you create that professionalism, you put out as much information as possible, so that, again, you cover all of your bases and people come to expect a level of trust, and they want to buy from you because they know that they can trust you. So let's talk about albums. I'm going to go back on Facebook because I want to make sure that you guys actually understand how to create an album. Again, we're using new Facebook. So if you're on classic Facebook, it looks different. And this, again, is the unfortunate reality of this new Facebook. But if you're in Thrift Boss Babes, it used to be over here. So that was classic Facebook. New Facebook, most of your tabs, actually all of your tabs are at the top. This is because I'm an admin, so I don't want that to confuse you. To get to your albums, you now go to More, Media. We're gonna leave this page. And then this shows you all the most recent photos that have been posted to the group, which is a great way to shop actually, because you see everything that was most recently posted. Videos, albums. And this is how you can shop people's albums. And this is how you can create an album. So creating an album is, you know, fairly easy. Most of us here have made an album. If you're watching the replay, you have probably not made an album, but your album name, album description, and then you just upload the photos of the items that you've just listed. My suggestion to people, and I'm going to talk about why it's important. My suggestion to people is to make your 3 posts for the day, whether you do it all in one shot or throughout the day, and then come here back to your album, and it's going to have another button where you can add more photos. Add a couple of the photos or 1 photo of the item, write a brief description, and put it in your album. You can get the link to your original posting. It's a lot of work. It's totally up to you. I don't suggest it only because I don't want you to be working your face off on these albums. The point of the album is so that when you are working with a customer who really likes you, you can go back to your album. You can grab the link by pressing Control-C, and you can tell them, I mean, just make sure that your album's updated. You can tell them all of these pieces are still available. Do you want to add anything? Because, you know, I'll happily bundle. Or because you know that you've been consistently adding things back to your album, you can't find the item for the life of you on your feed, because we all know these feeds are like monsters, but you can go back to your album because you know that someone just posted an ISO, you know, say for a striped shirt, and you're like, oh, I posted a striped shirt in my album. I still have it. I can, you know, I can go and I can tag them so that they, you know, take a look at this item and let me know if they want to buy it because they actually posted an ISO. Or you can, you know, you can take a screenshot if you want. This is me taking a screenshot and post it in someone's ISO post in the thread, or send it to them as a DM, whatever you want to do. So it's a way to stay organized for you as a seller. Now here's how it can help you to sell. I'm going to share the screen again just so you guys can see it. Live in this Zoom life. So again, back to Valerie. We love Valerie. She's our VIP. She made this post on September 11th. This is from her album that she added to her album. And then she got a, is this available, from Levon Davis yesterday. So people, I don't know how they do it. I wish I could tell you people's psychological pathways on Facebook groups, but people will dig in the groups. They will go snooping, they'll click here, they'll click there, and they might just find an item that you posted in your album 3 months ago. So it is a value, but it is a value for you to be found via your albums, but the most important value is so that you have it as a landing place for your items for sale. So you can use it to upsell your current customers, and so that you can use it to keep track of your items in the event that someone is looking for something you have, and you can quickly go find it or quickly go tag them. So that is
Jamie, I have a quick
Yes,
question
Joy.
for you. When something sells and we post
Yeah.
sold, how long do we keep it in the feed before we, you know, put it to the sold album?
Yeah, you know, I didn't bring up the sold album. The sold album, I love the sold album really just more for people to take a look at it when they're new sellers so they can see what's sold. That's why I don't think I've even made a post in a recent month saying, hey guys, just a reminder, if you could post up to the sold album. It's really just for you to really help me to have something to refer back to when new sellers come into the fold. But for your personal album, yes, if you can keep track of what's sold and you can remove it, or just put in the comments that it's sold, it's probably the easiest thing for you to do versus trying to delete it. it is a lot, you know, and again, that's why I'm not trying to tell you guys to like add links to link back to your pre-existing items. Really the value is so that you can use it personally for your upsells.
But for the regular feed though, you said post sold once it's sold, so people don't think it's still available.
Yeah.
But should we just take it off the feed, just delete it so that people don't think it's for sale? Because sometimes people don't read.
Yes, right. Well, back to, yeah, people can be really fast moving. So you can either delete the photo from the album,
Okay.
right?
No,
Or
from the feed on the Thrift Boss Babes feed.
you
Just
can
on
delete
the
it from the feed. I think it will delete from the album too. I think it will do
Okay.
both. But in terms of items that have sold, so okay, if I list this today and it sells today, I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to write sold.
Okay.
You can delete. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. Because it does create a little bit more space, I guess. It could be a positive thing, but I'm not trying to force you guys to do that. That's a lot of extra work for you. So it's okay. But it helps you if you write sold so that people don't comment saying is this still available.
Right.
You
Right.
know? Yeah. So good question. And then adding to this sold folder, I'm not going to go back to it, but there is a sold album for you guys watching live tonight or watching the replay. And I will just make occasional posts encouraging you guys to post in there. It's really just to help future sellers, you know, so that they can see what's selling. I might never actually ask people to post there more than once every 2 months or once a month. So don't worry about that. You know,
Okay.
you're not obligated to do anything. You guys are paying me to sell, but these are opportunities for you to obviously try to reach the audience that is Thrift Boss Babes, that is growing, you know, every single day. So, okay. So where were we? I actually just jumped ahead. This is a checklist for making a post. But I first want to talk about taking photos. So I'm going to quickly share with you guys a few ways to take photos, but I'm going to use my phone and I'm going to actually take photos with my phone. And I'm going to share with you some of the white space that you might want with that item. I'm also going to share with you guys a little bit more about this room as a hypothetical so that you guys can begin to think, okay, what's in my house and how can I take photos in my house? Some of us probably have our whole photo situation figured out. This is more if you're a brand new seller and you're just struggling with taking photos in general, or you don't know what you don't know. So I'm going to lift my computer and I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that we're just on me, so you guys see me. And my computer is going to be my lens. So you guys can see that I have this awesome ring light. This is actually a social lounge in the building that I'm living. This is not my home, although I would love for this to be my home. FYI, that missing wall is because we had a fire here a few weeks ago, so they've had to do some repairs. So it is nighttime here, but this is a window that normally has good light, and this is a window that normally has good light. So if, let's say, I don't have good light in the rest of my apartment or the rest of my home, I'm gonna want to take my photo as close to the window as possible, and I love to put things on the floor. So the reason that I suggest doing a flat lay is because it is probably the easiest way to get started in Thrift Boss Babes without needing a ring light, without needing a mannequin, without needing a wall that you can put a nail in, because some people put a nail on their walls and hang items. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna put it on the floor, I'm gonna fold my legs, I'm gonna fold the arms, I'm gonna make it look nice, and I'm gonna use what the universe gave me, which is natural light. Now, right now, we don't have natural light. It's too late. So I can't really take photos right now with natural light. The lighting in this room is pretty good, but in my personal apartment at this time of night, it wouldn't work. The lighting wouldn't work. It's too like fluorescent. I would need to have that natural light. But you guys are gonna see, again, pardon that ugly wall, that all you have to do, and I know this seems really basic, but hopefully this teaches you guys something new, is you put it on the floor, but you want to style it in a way where it looks attractive. I have seen some people throw stuff on the floor and it really just looks like they threw it on the floor. So right now, I'm just gonna kind of style this blazer. You know, I'm gonna make sure everything's folded over. If I haven't steamed it, I'm gonna wanna steam it. I have actually definitely not sold items because they just weren't steamed very well and I was too lazy, and I've learned. I'm gonna button the buttons so that, you know, you can see that there's buttons. I'm gonna make sure the pockets look good. All right, so, and this is actually not quite below the window. So I'm gonna move with you guys in a second, hold on. So I put that right there. So Allison, you were talking about this with me over Facebook. So you guys can see that we've got this flat lay of an item. There is a window right above me, so the light would technically be on the item. At different times of the day in your home, it might be too bright. So you might find that it's easier for you to shoot at like 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock because the light isn't so bright. But right now, let's just say again that we have good light. It's totally fine. I've got this beautiful wooden floor. You might not have wooden floor, you might have a carpet, or you might be able to purchase something that you can put on the floor so that there's, again, a neutral background. So that's another idea. I haven't specifically covered it, but some people just buy something to put on the floor, some sort of paper, so that they can lie their items on the floor and it looks good behind the item. So I'm gonna grab my phone and I'm gonna share with you guys how I'm gonna take this photo. So I'm about to snap. There's a little bit of a shadow. I'm actually gonna take it a little bit more horizontal. I'm gonna show you the way that you shouldn't take it, and then the way that you should, so that you guys can see how this might help you on Facebook. So this is super techie of me. Okay, how am I gonna do this? I guess I'll just do this. Do you guys see this okay? I know, there we go. Okay, so I guess that's gonna be the best way. I'm not gonna be able to tilt it on horizontal. Do you guys see how I have white space around the item? So you guys wanna have this white space so that when you post on Facebook, it doesn't cut off the item. It's gonna cut into the white space, but Shahama, I just saw your comment. It's gonna cut into the white space a little bit, but not into the item because you have that white space as like a protective barrier. If you were to just take the photo like this, like logic tells you to take the photo like this, but when posting on Facebook, it might cut into that garment when you're posting it with other items. So again, back to this Facebook structure, if you just post this as one single post, it's gonna look okay. But once you're adding other photos, it just potentially might not look as good as if you had the white space. So the rule of thumb is to shoot with white space. Now I'm using an iPhone, and I know a lot of you guys have Droids, so I so apologize, I can't help you with Droids. But on an iPhone, again, this is again back to lighting. It's hard to see, okay, there we go, okay. I have an edit button. So I have the most recent iPhone, but most iPhones have some sort of functionality where you can edit the photo on your phone. So on my phone, I can actually change some of the coloring of this photo. And what I like to do is I have these options. And again, this might be something you just have to research a little bit on your own, but I go to something called brightness. And I will ever so slightly brighten the photo if I need to. You guys can't tell right now because I'm just sharing it with you on my laptop camera, but I can change the brightness and the saturation. I don't want to alter the coloring too much. Again, you guys can't really tell the difference, but to my eye, it looks ever so slightly better. So I know that when I'm posting this photo, it's the best quality it can be. I've seen some posts of photos where I'm like, if you could have just added a little bit of brightness to that, it would look that much better. So again, rules of thumb, just so that all of us who don't have a lot of space or opportunity to take photos, is to find a window. Now, let's say you don't have a window. I've seen some of us shoot outside. I've seen some of us shoot on the wall, which I'm about to share with you, kind of how to do that. But if you don't have a mannequin, or you just don't want to make things complicated, but you have a nice floor or something to put on the floor and you have a window, that's really all you need. So check out some of my posts, because that's all I've done is I've put things on the floor. Now back to photographing on the wall. So I don't live in this room, obviously, so I can't nail into a wall. But if you guys nail into a wall, one second as I put this, I need an assistant for these workshops. If you guys can nail into a wall, and I think Betty does this in her current apartment, and she has a beautiful wall, so it looks really nice. But even if you just have a plain wall and it's by a window, so I have a window right here that's technically a light, but I can hang for the sake of this workshop. If I didn't have that light and I lived here, I would probably just put a nail in the wall. But here, how am I gonna do this? We're gonna do this, yeah. This is so cool, I love this, creating this like 3D experience with you guys. So I would put it on a hanger and I would shoot when, again, there's some natural light coming in through this window. Hopefully it doesn't cast a shadow. It could cast a shadow ever so slightly. There are some shadows right now just because of this sort of light. Shadows aren't a terrible thing. It's Facebook. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. But you can edit the brightness again. If there are some shadows, it will fade some of that shadow. But again, I'm going to take my photo. Now I have this couch here. So again, this is so basic, but I would push it out of the way. It's a little heavy right now. I'm not going to push it. But I would push it out of the way so that I don't see the couch in the photo. And I'm creating some white space. So I just took this photo again. Sorry, it's so bright here. There, that's better. Yeah, there we go. So you can see all the white space that I put around this item. Now I have that light. Obviously, that's not ideal. It's not terrible. I think during the day without that light on, that would look really nice because I would have this natural light coming in. Now, some people have really dark homes. I've told people to shoot outside. I've told people to shoot on fences. I've told people to shoot on their front doors, on their back doors. If you can put a nail somewhere outside, because if you have that natural light and you can figure out the best time of day where you can shoot, that's, a solution. Now, if you're using a ring light, okay, so I'm gonna share with you, and Betty, consider using a picture hook. I love that. If you have a ring light and you want to use a ring light to take your photos, and I'm not gonna show you guys the whole kit and caboodle because again, we only have so much time. Oops, this ring light is tilted, it's falling on me. So Allison, we were talking about using a ring light. So this ring light bends over. So what you would do is, again, you need to make sure the light is on the item. So if this ring light, I'm gonna move it. This ring light were up like this, I just made that straight. It's really lighting over here. It's not gonna light right here as well if, say, I want to, shoot an item right below the ring light. So Allison, if you get a ring light and you wanna use a ring light to shoot your items, natural light is always ideal, but ring lights do work. I would add some overhead lights. I wouldn't make it entirely dark with just a ring light because it's gonna really, it could look good. Again, you just have to play around with what you have. But let's say I wanna sell my prize Shaheen skirt, which I will never sell. So if I wanted to take a photo of it, say some details with this ring light, gonna lay it just right below. I wanna make sure you guys can see this. Okay, so I can't take a photo of the entire skirt this way, but I can take some really, really, really nice detailed shots. They actually look really good. So you guys, do you see how nice that lighting is? It's actually probably kind of bright because it's being inspired by the ring light. So that's really even lighting. There are some wrinkles because I do need to steam this out. But every ring light should bend. So you just want to make sure that you use that functionality so that if you're shooting on the ground or on a counter, you have the ring light aiming the light down on the item. So I know a lot of you are expert sellers, and I love that you're talking in the comments, and this is really where you get some value, because again, I'm going to walk around here, guys. Move this ring light. And then we're going to start to critique people. Everyone's home is different. So where I live, I have a different type of light than, you know, where I used to live. So I've just had to adjust. But if I really, really got into this business, I would probably try to figure out a place outside where I can shoot and I can have some more freedom. So again, you just have to figure out what works best for you. And I think the ring light is sort of like the last option, because ideally you use natural light. It just always looks better. Depending, it can look okay, but it just, I've found that natural light always looks better, just because fluorescent fake light can alter, you know, colors of things. So, all right, so I am, let's see here. Cancel spotlight video. Where are you guys? Gallery view. Okay, you guys are back. So I'm going to share my screen just to make sure that we're on track here, but we're going to start to go over some people's posting. This is a checklist for daily posts, but I went over all of this already. The only thing I'm going to point out is the time to post. It's pretty logical. I would post before noon Eastern or after 5 p.m. Eastern. I only say Eastern because a lot of our members are Eastern, but we do have some Central and we do have some Pacific. But I would, you know, stop posting around 10 p.m. Eastern, you know, just because, again, most Eastern Standard Time people aren't really on Facebook after 10. And then, you know, between 12 and 5, I feel like people actually start to work and get off Facebook. And then here are some best practices, which I'm not going to go over, but I would look back at this just so that, you know, you can review some best practices that are already spelled out in the best practices PDF and the Thrift Boss, well, the Thrift Boss Babes official rules, not so much, but I also suggest taking a look at that. And again, this is just, you know, some basics. Post 3 times per day consistently. Get to know other Thrift Boss Babes. Get before you receive. Post your thrift-related activities. Look for ISO posts. Change the feed from new activity to recent. Participate in as many Thrift Boss Babes events as possible. Here's a link to all the ways you can sell in Thrift Boss Babes, which is updated. These are some visuals just showing you pretty much what I just explained in that last checklist. You can change the feed from new activity to recent posts. It will bring up the most recent posts. It is hard to find, and it is hard to find on your mobile app, but it is there. So look for it. It will start with new activity and move to recent posts. If you leave the group, it goes back to new activity. It's very frustrating because I only want to see recent posts, but it defaults to new activity. And then here are some examples of ISOs. You can literally search for ISOs in the group. Just look for the search box. Here's some other ISOs. I love these ISOs. And people make money when they post in the comments of the ISOs, and they actually have items that that buyer wants. They have a high chance of actually selling that item. Share your activities to brand yourself in the group. This is something, again, the group used to be so just straight and narrow, like we're just posting items for sale. But as I've seen more people express themselves in the group, I want you guys to talk about your thrift related activities and share your outfits and obviously share the things that you've bought from each other. So these are just some quick examples. You know, Lisa's been really great. I can see she's really branding herself strongly in the group. She's posting what she finds thrifting. As long as you're not selling from these posts, or if you want to sell from the posts, you have to make it that one, you know, you have to make it one of your 3 per day. But these are a great way, again, to create that know, like, trust relationship. So just to backtrack really quickly, I tend to rush toward the end of my presentations, but these documents will give you some more insights into best practices. And this checklist will help you with your daily posts. And now I want some fearless volunteers. to volunteer that I actually go onto Facebook. So I'm going to stop my share so I can see you guys. I'm going to look in the chat box. Go into Facebook and Google your name and take a look at your daily posts. So I know some of us are posting daily. Who wants a critique? Who's ready? Patty. I knew, Patty, you were going to go. Okay. So Patty, you're Patricia on Facebook. So I have to actually Google Patricia. So let me share my screen. And if you guys, I really want some feedback. I tend to create these for beginners to advanced, which is fun but frustrating because I know some of you know a lot of this information, and sometimes I have to rush through things. But if you learned something today that sort of blew your mind, or just you feel like it's really going to help you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So feel free to start sharing that. So here I am in new Facebook, which I loathe. But so that you guys know, once you're converted over to new Facebook, here is your search. So you can search, you know, again, ISO, you can search your name, you can search someone else's name. The complicated part about Facebook is that it's Hamilton Reed, yes. It doesn't always bring up it doesn't always bring up all of your posts. I can't control that. I can't quite suggest to you, you know, how to control that. But we're going to see what Facebook is bringing up of Patty's.
Going to show me getting in trouble yesterday?
No, and you didn't get in trouble. It's just I had to say something, or before I knew it, I was going to have other people posting videos of themselves and what they were sharing. And
I was practicing.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. It's always okay. It's always fine with me. But if the group was like 5 times bigger, I'd have to be stricter because unfortunately people will just kind of take advantage.
I think I have actually gone through and deleted things. I usually delete things that sell because it's just, I don't know, the quickest thing to do.
That's fine. It's really fine. I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys to do that. But that might change if the group is 10,000 people. So, but right now we're okay. So you.
I like that top. I was really kind of surprised that it didn't sell. So maybe you tell me what I did wrong.
I actually thought about buying this. And I'm going to point out that you have this wonderful background. Is that natural or is that a background you purchased?
It is a cheap roll of paper from Michael's.
There you go. So that looks like real brick. Do you have that pinned with tape? How do you have that?
It has tacks, which I have to sometimes position the neck of that mannequin just right so you don't see a shiny silver tack.
I see. Okay. This looks great. So did you shoot this with white space?
I think so. See, because what you just said about the way that the post comes up, it never occurred to me to think of that. I just really consider my individual photos, and it didn't strike me to think of it as like an Instagram collage is the way I should think of it.
That's what I should have said. Instagram collage, yeah. But this is it. This is beautiful. Like
that just kind of happened because I didn't think of looking at how it was going to look.
Right. So I think my only suggestion, if you want to try, I don't think that this is like, it's short and you're concise and it's not a massive block. If it were double, I would say you definitely need to like break this up, but you can, you know, you guys are just going to go into Gmail with me. You know,
yeah, I didn't know about breaking it up. I sometimes think it looks a little long, but I didn't know what
it's, again, I think if you are doing something that works for you, but where I'm more concerned is when people aren't posting anything, or they're creating like rambling, like a mix of price and a mix of this and a mix of that, and you can't quite decipher it. Yours is clear. You could do something like this. You know, you could kind of like, if you want, you know, just like give it some.
So more like what I would do if it was one of my eBay listings or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you might not even need details, you know. It's really, you know, again, like this might be actually a little
Yeah.
too much, but that's sort of the genesis of what I taught you guys. You really may not have sold this yet, just again, because it's just someone hasn't like pulled the trigger. I particularly love this item.
What do you think of the price on that?
The price, so 18 plus first class shipping. I would start to try something like 22 shipped. If you're okay losing that like extra dollar, you know, or like 20 shipped even. If maybe 20 shipped would really move this out. Because it's her go-go dancer name. That's Allison. That's hilarious. But you guys are also going to see on my end, and this is something I haven't had a time to really investigate. Facebook just gave me insights into all of your posts. So I can see at the time of your posts, the engagement, how many eyeballs saw it, and the active members at time of post. Active members is probably just that you guys were on Facebook. So at the time of your post, or between the time of your post and at this moment, Patty, it's reached 149 people. So I could also see another garment of yours, and maybe it reached 300 and it sold. So you might just not have reached enough people, which can happen too. I'm trying to, oh, you've deleted all your solds. Hold on.
Let's see. Yeah, that sold right away.
Oh, I don't have insights because it's old. Dang it. Yeah.
Although it's not a vintage thing, but
it's unique.
yeah.
It's
when
really,
I saw it, I said, oh, because sometimes when I buy things, I'm like, oh, this is for Etsy, this is for eBay, this is for Thrift Babes. Like when I see something like that, y'all love this animal print.
We love animal print. That's true. I should add that to the list. Yeah, animal print. But no, I do like this. If this is your style, and you guys don't want to make the extra effort, Patty has a really great style here, and it's just enough, but she's organized in the positioning of her information. She has the final price at the end, or she has the price at the end, which yes, you did here too. So that's really good to do. That's what I do when buying. I put it at top. That's just my format, but then I always put it at the bottom again. So kind of like bookend your descriptions with the price. But maybe start to try, you know, including shipping, just to see if that changes anything for you.
Yeah, I can do that. I usually do that on Instagram. I mean, I've been shipping for 20 years, so I know what it costs.
Oh yeah, you're really good. Yeah, you're really good. I can tell. I'm gonna look up one more item. I think this is also another awesome thing that should have sold.
It did sell right away.
It did. Did someone buy it from the group? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my thoughts with this, but she saw what it was. So again, it's not bad, guys, if you're not showing the whole item. I was just trying to prove a point that sometimes it can be really bad and you really can't tell what the item is. So do your best with trying to show that whole item.
That Zara top that's up there, you can't tell what it was, and it sold. But yeah, see, because I wasn't even considering it as a grouping. I was just considering that people would click on it and see the whole picture.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got all these 6, 7. So the detail photos starting here, I would have maybe just put in the comments, like, but that's only just because there's a lot of photos here. But the item was so cool that it sold. Like you didn't, you know. And then, Patty, when do you typically post?
I'm gonna say either mid-morning or late evening.
Then those are the best times. Did these sell?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
I don't know. I was kind of chatty in that one. I don't know.
I would try to reshoot these.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing pants because I have a mannequin and I don't know, I can't. the floor in the room where I do shooting is not great.
Okay. I wonder if that paper, if you could put it on the floor as well.
Yeah.
Because this is an idea for pants on the floor that you can mimic for some of your
Mhm.
pants.
Well, usually if something hasn't sold in on the group in a couple of days, by the time I get to it, I move it on to eBay for long-term storage.
Okay. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, because you don't necessarily want to spend all this time trying to sell something for $15. I understand. But yeah, guys, I think for Patty's feedback and for your feedback, of course we can tell that these are jeans, but again, I'm just kind of like, I wish I could see the cut better. I'm kind of lazy. Like, unless they're so awesome,
Mhm.
but if they're like mid-range, people are just gonna fly right by them. Like if I'm on the feed, I'm like, okay, no, like it's not catching my attention.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I knew those were kind of a boring thing for this group, but
but you did get this inquiry, which is great because there you go. I mean, you understand. It's like if people are asking you, so okay. This is back to what I was saying about customer leads. This is a great example of just, even if you don't sell something, guys, people might comment asking you for certain things. So your consistency is important because the more people see you, the higher chance it is that they're going to comment, maybe ask for something. And a lot of us have a big inventory and we can go back and look at it and we might have what they want. So, okay, Patty, I hope that helps a little bit.
yeah, the photo grid thing, thinking of it like Instagram, is really helpful.
Good. Joy. Wait, Allison, then Joy. Okay, cool. And then I'm actually, Bonnie, I'm going to put you on the spot. Thank you for saying it's a great class. I'm going to share some of your items with you in the group. You have some great items that we just need to rephotograph and reformat. Because I see some of your posts and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's such great items, but I don't think they're translating as strong as they could. So again, just another great example of just sometimes we just have to change how we market our items. And we don't know what we don't know. So Allison Brown, Allison, I purchased from you, sorry, you're double L. I purchased from you because you somehow learned that I was looking for a camo jacket. I made an ISO and you kindly reached out to me and you said that you had a couple in inventory and you sent them to me because I said, sure, send them to me. And then I bought one. So again, another great example of how ISOs work in this group. So, okay, Allison, I don't see, okay, here we go. August 13th, girl.
I know.
An oldie.
I've been struggling.
This is your album. So I'm not gonna actually, hold on. I wanna make sure, okay, here we go. It's okay, Allison, you are a full-time hairstylist, so you have a lot going on.
I do.
Okay, this was my like little encouragement of you. Okay, hi Boss Babes, this is my first post here selling. Awesome, fun 80s dress, love this print, $20 plus shipping, no size tag. Feels like cotton has pockets, waist, pit to pit. That was for selling only, not included. The item is okay, cool. So let's do this. So this post, I would again try to do one photo here and two up here, and then put the rest in the comments. So I
can't see it on the screen.
Oh, am I not sharing? I'm sorry, guys. Oops, sorry. Thank you. Hold on. To anyone who's watching, here we go. Okay. Zoom life. This is like my new inside joke with myself as we continue to figure out Zoom. Okay, so we're back here on Facebook. So guys, I found this post from Allison. It was her first post. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you again. I just think this is the most helpful thing for that Instagram grid. So that's a vertical post. Okay, this is more square. This is a really cute dress.
Isn't it?
Are you comfortable taking photos of yourself and items?
Well, I've been trying. So I have a few to post hopefully this week.
That might help you.
okay.
Okay.
But I feel kind of like an idiot.
It's tough.
But I got to force myself to do it so I can get better.
Right. Ugh. Zoom life. Okay, so I'm gonna do, so again, this is how I use my laptop. You guys might do something different, but I just plopped all these photos in here. Do you guys see how nice that looks?
Yeah.
So this is now, oh, I can't go back. I should have opened a new window. But before she had about 6 photos. So I would post it this way. Let's say, again, technically, if that didn't show up, I could move it there. So let's say for some reason it was here, right? And I went back and I was like, no, I want that there. No, okay, I'm just gonna change it. There we go. Okay, awesome. So that looks a lot better because we can just really right away see this. You have some shadow, that's fine. You could brighten this a little bit in your iPhone and then up the saturation or your Droid or whatever app you have just to get rid of some of those shadows, but you're fine. Again, this is an
Okay.
where it's like a little bit more serious, in terms of presentation. And then I have your description that I copied and pasted. And I don't think your description is bad, honestly, because you have some good formatting. So it's really just the same thing that I kind of shared about Betty. I'm sorry, Patty. We have a lot of Y's in this group. Sammy, Betty, Patty, Bonnie, even though you're Ivy, Bonnie. Joy has a Y. For me, okay, let's have a deep conversation. Where did you get this dress, Allison?
When did I get it?
Yeah, or where?
Oh,
Is there a story?
I think this one a friend of mine gave to me because she knows I'm a seller. So she is always giving me stuff.
And is this friend, is she really cool? Is there a fun fact about her?
She has a company where she has vintage dishware and cups and plates that you could rent for your wedding.
Okay.
So I get plates for her and she gets clothes and accessories for me when we thrift.
I love that.
Yeah.
Houseware, China. This is just my language. So if you just really wanted to add some more flavor to this, something like this. I mean, again, it's I'm getting you to dig deep and you guys might not be able to dig deep, but I do believe that within the community that this is, people like stories as long as they're not super long-winded. We know each other, so it's another level of oh, that's so cool. You went on a road trip to Chicago and found this in someone's basement. Wow. It might just add another element.
Okay. So don't be afraid to get a little personal.
Right.
With it. Okay. No, I like that.
You don't have to. Sorry.
But if there is a cool thing, don't hesitate to say it.
Yes. This is great with your approximate sizing. And then I would always say see measurements and extra photos and comments, because if you're not going to put the photos in the main feed, just let them know. And then end with $20 plus shipping. And then, you might even just want to do something like this. Details, price, again, just remind people, but maybe just ask 25 for this, it might cost you $6 to ship it. Who knows? Because you might send it to Bonnie in California. It's a little bit more, but still, it's just a little bit easier for people to process. Payment by Venmo or Cash App, Instagram. So there, so let's just plop this in.
Hey, Sammy.
Yeah.
Also, just to let you guys know, I don't know if everybody uses Pirate Ship, but we
Yep.
received a letter that shipping is going up in October.
Yeah, it is.
So got to keep that in mind too. Shipping
Right.
will be-
Thank you. I should take a look at that. Yeah. It's just for the season, right? They're just doing it for the
Yes.
holiday season.
Just for this holiday season starting, I think like October 12th, something like that.
Okay,
October
thank you.
10th or 12th.
Yeah, I have to
You're
look
welcome.
at that. Yeah, so it's probably going to be about $1 to $1.50 more. I think if I remember correctly. We'll have to take a look. Okay, so basically, thank you, Joy, for anyone who's watching this replay. Just make sure you know the current shipping costs because my estimates might be a little bit behind in terms of timing. But Allison, how does this look to you compared to what it was before?
Looks good. I mean, and it's just like a little tweak, but it definitely looks better. Definitely the pictures. Like I had not thought about that. That's super helpful.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay. Help. Thank you, Sammy.
Bonnie, I'm gonna jump to you. Joy, I
know,
love you,
okay.
but I'm gonna jump to Bonnie because I adore Bonnie. And Bonnie came to me like, Sammy, I have so much stuff and I'm gonna learn. And Bonnie, you've been to almost every one of my workshops and I really want to commend you. And you know, this isn't natural for a lot of people, but you've really improved. I've really noticed.
I hope so. Have I? I was one of your
Yes.
first 300 people.
Yes, you were. You really
Yeah.
so like I'm gonna find one that we could improve for you and it might be kind of old.
That's okay. I can. Sometimes I like to go really quick, and I know that maybe I should start taking my time.
Yeah.
I'm just like this ADD type person that's just everywhere.
Same.
I know.
Man, my ADD shows up differently, but here's one. Okay. This looks like it has really strong potential. Do you guys
Yeah.
agree? Like I can kind of tell, but again, I'm lazy.
Cut off.
I'm lazy based on the presentation and I'm like, you know, okay, wait a second. So it had 2 likes here. Oh, this is a recent post. Let's see, how many people did it reach? Only 63 people. Okay. That might have been just the time of day you posted it. But, okay. So if I save these photos. So first of all, this looks a little blurry, Bonnie.
Okay.
Ever so slightly blurry, but I like the rug. I don't mind that. But you can maybe even just do it on the floor. If it were a
On the
dark
carpet.
item, it won't work. This is light enough that it might just work on the carpet. Yeah. Or you could even have this carpet like ever so slightly in a corner, like a little style element. That's a nice photo.
That's too many colors, huh? The white underneath the.
I think so. That's so cute there.
I just throw some little things on there to shine it up. I don't know.
So you added this?
Yeah, I
You
just
added
add that
Oh, okay. All right.
just for a little shine.
So this is upside down. I can tell right away. So
Oh, shoot. I posted something upside down.
I'm gonna show you how to change that on Facebook. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, that
I
might
usually edit before. I can't believe I did that, but anyway.
That's okay. I don't think you realized it because it almost looks like it's the right way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the head. So, okay. So if we repost this, sorry guys, I have to, this is why I do not like new Facebook. I have to almost.
So I'm not going to put so many pictures in there, and I want more of a white background to show the whole thing.
Absolutely. Create some more white space
Okay.
around your photos. There's a little bit, but I would create even more white space if you can. You literally almost just need to hold the camera higher when you're doing a flat lay.
Okay.
That white space.
And then I use Photo Room because I can take the back stuff from the background and it can give me the white background in Photo Room.
Yes, I've seen you do that. It works sometimes. Sometimes I don't know if it's the best way to present.
Okay.
But hold on, I'm gonna focus on this right now just so you can see. So again, here is this kind of like, you know, lucky 3 presentation that seems to work if you have a vertical. I already like this a lot better, but Bonnie, if she goes into edit, what she can do is she can edit this photo. I'm gonna move this. This is new Facebook again, but the way it looks in new Facebook is if I press rotate, I just rotated it. So Bonnie, yours was this way. I can rotate it back this way. And I can,
Okay.
so if you guys find that you're taking photos as a flat lay or whatever, and it turns upside down on Facebook, you can edit it on Facebook if you don't already know that. So now, what I would do, Bonnie, again, how did you get a light on this? Was this from a natural window?
Yeah. Is it inside my home?
Okay.
Yeah.
How close was it to the window?
Not that close because it's right by the TV and then the window's not fully open.
Okay.
There's a lamp right there. It's not good lighting, huh?
I've seen you take stuff outside and it's sold.
I'm gonna have to start taking, I'm gonna do my lives outside, Sammy. Is that okay?
That's what Bridget does. And she crushes it. She crushes
So
it.
Bridget, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna do my lives outside.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start shooting more outside is what I'll do.
Yeah, you have this California weather. It's beautiful. It's natural light. You have some more space. It's aesthetically pleasing. You're in California. It helps with your brand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Sammy.
But I think I forget what your room looks like. I know I've seen it, but there's something about this that's off focus. So maybe hold your camera a little bit longer.
Okay.
On your garment. You can also press the screen to focus. So when you take a photo, touch the screen and it should focus on the item.
Okay.
So that might help. And then with your post, Bonnie, amazing vintage BABES, 70s. Just, are you typing this on your phone or on your computer?
Phone.
On your phone, yeah. So I can usually tell right away because again, it's like it's a quick post for you. So right. I don't want to force you to like spend more time. But I would definitely take measurements first and foremost, and that might change some of your results. Because I see, again, you're saying it's a vintage size 10 and you're guesstimating the modern size, which is a good thing to do, but people still want to see measurements.
They do, huh? Yeah, I don't do a lot of measurements.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I really won't buy anything unless I know it's going to fit. I don't have time to accumulate things that don't fit. And I think a lot of us share that sentiment.
Okay.
So this certainly don't use this material anymore, does not wrinkle at all. So if you're on your phone, again, I don't want to like be like, you have to do it this way, but try to maybe create some indents, you know? And obviously if you were on your computer, you would see that this was just like a quick typo that you could change. And then I'm trying to think what else, because again, if you're not gonna be doing it on your desktop, on your phone, I know it takes a little bit longer, but if you just wanna add some more meat to this, where, you're like measurements, and you guys can all do it a different way. You don't have to do it the way I do it. It could be this way, it could be this way, just to create some, some style to it. I also like to use these, which that's if you press shift and then right below delete if you have a MacBook. I think it's also on a PC.
Okay.
You can also do tildes just to create like separation. So, so anyway, because I want you guys to feel like you can create your own personal post. I don't want this to be so vanilla that we're all like, oh, we have to do it Sammy's way. But at the end of the day, creating some separation and just some headlines, Bonnie, and and adding measurements. I think adding measurements is the one thing. If you could start to do that, check back with me and let me know if that's changed any of your results. And try to shoot outside on that wall that I've seen you shoot outside. That might also help you.
Okay, hon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Okay, Joy. And I know, guys, I'm always way longer than I anticipate. But I know this part
Before
is,
you do, Joy, it's Betty here. Can I just offer a little suggestion?
yes.
So when you guys are talking about shipping, including shipping, please be mindful that there are Canadian buyers like myself, and that's not what you're charging us typically.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe make sure it says continental US shipping costs, international shipping will be more or something.
Right. Yeah. And that's why, and this is just for anyone who's watching the replay, I can't teach shipping right now,
No,
but
I know, but
the shipping workshop.
Hi, Betty.
Yeah.
hi there. Okay.
But the shipping workshop does have the best opportunity to give the best prices to international buyers. It's the best price that I've seen so far. But yes, shipping to the continental US, I believe Alaska and Hawaii are a little bit more, but I actually have never shipped to Alaska and Hawaii. Patty, do you know? Is priority shipping to Alaska and Hawaii more than the continental US? If Patty's here, she might not be here anymore.
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay, so it's territories that it would be more, right? So like Puerto Rico, Guam.
No, it's the same. Priority shipping is the
Still
same.
priority shipping? Okay, there we go.
But and if you use Pirate Ship for international, you just have to request their international shipping. It's got some sort of name, but you just request it in their chat, and it's like, I don't know, $13 to send something to Canada. Or no, it's less than that. It's like $9 to send something to Canada, which is a lot less than it normally is. It would normally be 13 or 15 to send something under a pound, I think,
Right.
and it's like 9 with Pirate Ship.
Yep. Perfect. And that's all for anyone watching right now. That's all that this workshop can cover, but that shipping workshop will dive into more detail. But as Betty said, it is important just to, remember that there are some Canadian buyers in the group, and as the group grows, there could be Europeans, South Americans, et cetera. So international shipping is something to educate yourself on. So Joy, Miss Joy, okay. Let's see here. We've got this beautiful skirt, which is a great visual post. I love this. This is excellent. Price 18, shipping 8, tailored by me, blah, 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 blah. So, okay. I think, Joy, with your personality especially, first of all, this is a really cool skirt. There just might not be the right buyer right now. Again, not everything that you list will sell. This is awesome. This is to your personal page. Okay, cool. Yes, love that. So my only thoughts for you, just because I know your personality, is to maybe add a little bit of personality up here. So, I would put this as your title, right? Made from, if you want to add that there. So again, the beginning is sort of like the really important information if you want to be logical about it. See measurements. Actually, I'm not going to say modern. I'm going to say marked size 8. See measurements below. $18 plus $8 shipping, which I would just say 25 shipped. Honestly, it just.
Okay.
Especially if you're going to spell out your shipping, I would just say 25 shipped.
Okay.
Yeah. So measurements, if you want to do this, or again, I want you guys to personalize or feel like you can personalize. Please comment. Thank you for shopping. I mean, all of this, if you just want to put the price again, maybe something like this. just to put it at the bottom again. But
Okay.
this is like, it's a pretty generic post. Is there anything special about this skirt, Joy? Anything else?
Well,
Any
not that I can think of. I mean, it's a part of the growing trend for fall, winter with plaid, you
Okay.
know?
All right. You said growing. I'm going to say popular. So if you wanted, again, this is next level stuff, guys. Ad skirts, runway, fall 2020. So let's just say we could find a runway photo. This one, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Facebook. You're not going to get caught. This is Versace. I wouldn't do this on Poshmark or Depop, but you can add it to this. So maybe you would want to remove this photo, Joy,
Okay.
and just add this Versace photo. People are going to know that that's not the skirt you're selling. It's clear. But just say something in the
Similar.
comments. It's similar, right? Yeah. So,
Yeah, she can dress that one up.
and Joy, based on your brand and how I know you, you are very trend focused. So that is maybe that's something that you add like consistently, where you can really start to brand yourself as someone who knows trends and is selling the trends.
Okay.
And I've heard this from buyers because I try to talk to our buyers, and one of our buyers was like, I bought this because it was promoted as a trend and I learned about it as a trend. So I thought, why not try it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So again, some of this like marketing stuff, it is next level, putting your shoes putting your feet in the shoes of another person.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what all the buyers want because they all want different things, but if you feel like you can really stand behind some of your items as being trend worthy, or you want that to be consistent with your marketing, that might be something for you, Joy, to add.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, I had an aha moment when you were talking about being active in thrift babes so people get to know your personality. And to be honest, I haven't been. I've been more active in thrift boss babes, thinking that thrift babes are automatically looking at thrift boss babe albums. So I was like, oh, I need to be over there so people get to know me and know my style so that they'll come shopping.
Yeah, it's both groups.
Me too.
It's really both groups. I mean, there's a lot of people in Thrift Babes that aren't in Thrift Boss Babes. And again, I created the separation because I know some people just don't want to shop online. You know, if I converted all of Thrift Babes into a marketplace, like I would actually probably lose some people.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, you know, if you don't, I always double post. So you can post in both the same thing, or you can just focus on Thrift Boss Babes, because that's where your buyers are right now.
Okay.
So you can just, you know, post like, you know, here's my outfit, or like, here's something I bought from someone, I'm wearing it, or I just learned about this awesome resale tip, or I have a question, or let me give you advice, you know, and make it natural. Because just commenting on people's posts is enough. Where I see people fail is where they think that they can just swoosh into the group, have a live sale, and make a ton of money, but they're not, because people don't really know them, or they don't know the group. So if you're not involved in the group, you don't know the group. You know, like Patty said, some things are for Thrift Boss Babes, some things are for Depop, some things are for Poshmark, some things are for eBay. So you do have to get to know the group, you know, and she had mentioned like the group loves animal print. So as you get to know the group, you're like, oh, animal print. If I see animal print out in the wild, like I'm going to buy it. Right. Versus I'm going to come into this group and think that everyone wants a certain type of style when we're completely different. Right. They might do well elsewhere, but they might not do well with us. So.
And did it on a mannequin. So would you suggest that I do a flat?
I like your mannequin. The flat lay is really just if you're getting started and you
Okay.
really don't have the money or the interest or the space.
Okay.
A flat lace, I think, solves all problems as long as you have the lighting.
Okay.
And flat lays are really popular in Poshmark. That's what I hear. I like models too, personally, but again, this is just personal. I like to see a model and I like to see the garment on the ground.
Okay.
Because the model might not be my body.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so I was saying to Allison, I was like, are you comfortable modeling your clothes? And I only say that because I know some of those pieces might fit her. So Joy, if some of the pieces fit you, take a selfie with yourself wearing it as long as you're in good light, or take a timed photo, where you're standing in front of your camera and it's on timer. And if you're comfortable, say, I'm roughly this modern size, like this will fit you, or people can see your body type and they're like, oh, I know that will fit me. So it's just another way to create more of a social connection in the group by personalizing things. But that's up to you. And that might not be for every post.
Right.
So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
I have a question.
Yes. Who's talking?
Bonnie.
Bonnie. I'm going to stop.
I just want to know, are we posting in Thrift, not just Thrift Boss Babes, but Thrift Babes we can post too? No.
That's only for the live sale. That's only for promotion for the live sale. The daily posting is only Thrift Boss Babes. Yeah. If you make a mistake, I'll let you know. I just delete it. Some people make mistakes. Fine. It's confusing.
But you want me to get to know the group, the other group, and the other ones for the live sales. Okay, so I got to go on there and maybe comment. And
you can. You don't have to. I mean, but because most of the Thrift Babes that want to buy are going to be in Thrift Boss Babes.
That's right.
But it does help me when you guys are in Thrift Babes, like, hey, by the way, I'm a seller in Thrift Boss Babes, because some people don't want to listen to me. They're like, you're just selling us stuff. I'm not going to even notice your post.
Right.
So, but when you guys talk about it, they're like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. Like, I trust her, because I'm just to some people, I'm just an admin. So again, that's kind of a marketing psychological thing. But so you guys are more than welcome to make a post in Thrift Boss Babes, which says something like, hi, I'm a seller in you can make a post in Thrift Babes saying, I'm a seller in Thrift Boss Babes. I'd love for you guys to come check out the group. I've got great things for sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to
Maybe a picture of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would help me. It would help you guys. I do the best I can with my emails. So when people join Thrift Babes, I ask if they want to learn more information about Thrift Boss Babes, and they get an automatic email that sends them to Thrift Boss Babes if they want to join. So that's why Thrift Boss Babes is actually growing at a faster rate than Thrift Babes. I have a feeling Thrift Boss Babes will probably grow past Thrift Babes at some point. There's more value there, in a sense for people, but I always want Thrift Babes to be a safe space for just sharing versus, oh, I'm being sold to and this is annoying. The live sales, of course, is a little bit different, but it's just like a one-time post with a video versus multiple posts. So yeah, that's the logic behind that. But I don't know if anyone else wanted me to take a look. I know Betty hasn't made posts for a while. So Betty, you probably don't want me to look. Okay. Ray, oh, I'm so happy. Yay, I'm so happy. Shahama, are you on, love? I don't see you. Oh, there you are. You're right in the middle. Shahama, do you want me to look at your post, babe?
Mine are so bad from today. So no, I don't. I have too many pictures. And I think mine's all clumped together. So yeah. I'm taking the notes. I have my pad.
You've learned. So Shahama has been an amazing buyer. So we get to love on Shahama. I just want to thank you because
Shahama has a shopping problem and has purchased too many items from too many of y'all. And one of the things I have to say though is about deleting the post. I asked somebody else about how long do they hold them up because I got something thinking I'm smaller than I am that doesn't fit. And I would try to go back to the original post to see if there was somebody else that wanted it that was next or expressing interest to try to see if I could, tell them, oh, it didn't work for me. Would you like it? And they delete your post. So you know,
Yeah.
now I'm doing screenshots and when I do the claim or whatever to make sure. And then if there's somebody below it, then I'll message them. But I have a pile over here of things to post. Huh?
This is on a live sale or a daily post?
Daily posts. Like I get a lot of stuff that way, and then I'll try to do a screenshot. And then like with Ren, she had something that I guess I must have wanted. I don't remember. And she said it didn't work for her and I was buying something else. And she said, well, you can add it to your package and I'll just, you know, for the price that I bought it, and we worked it out. And so that's kind of helpful if it's up for a while, or to pay attention to do a screenshot if you get something in case it doesn't work for you, and you could pass it along to somebody else.
Yeah.
My for my ginormous pile of reposting.
I mean, you could even do a whole live sale with us. Back to themes, right?
Oh my God, the ones that don't work, all the ones that haven't worked, please come and buy because the pile is growing.
It's an interesting, you know, this is a new development in my mind to help you guys, but you know, sale themes are just like, ooh, alluring. So I'd be allured. Like, what doesn't fit Shahama that she's buying?
Most everything. I'm clearly not aware of where all my fluffy is. I'm in denial over here.
But it would be like a best of sale because you do.
But yours fit. It was too cute. I didn't take a picture though. Like of all the people, I would not think anything that you had would be fitting me, Miss Tall and Thin. But
Well,
the Jenny dress is fabulous.
I have the right measurements. So
Yes.
you guys, I know, of course, I've gone an hour over. Wahaha. But we're still recording. Are there specific questions that you guys have? Live sales?
I have a question. It's Allison.
Hey, Allison.
I was wondering for the live sale, do people mostly just have stuff that they have never posted in a daily post?
Oh.
Or it could be a few of those in there, or it doesn't really matter? I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to do a whole sale of stuff you'd already posted.
It doesn't matter.
But, okay. So like if something hasn't sold, you could throw it in and be like, this is so cool. Why hasn't it sold? Okay. And then my other question is
I think it's better if you put things that you didn't post because it's different energy on a live than just a flat lay. You see how it moves, how you have it on the hanger. If you're like excited about it, it gives you a different feel. I think if any of the stuff that you have for sale should be in a live, you should consider it like for the group as far as like the theme or whatever, but like it doesn't matter if you posted it previously. At least I wouldn't think so. I would still be like, oh, it's cute, okay, or I seen it before but it just didn't strike me well as a picture. Sorry, I'll put my thing on.
No, that's great feedback. That's a good point.
She's a
I have a
buyer
quick question.
like this. So
Yeah. Well, I have one more quick question.
yes, Allison, yeah.
It seems like the numbering scheme is all over the place.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, like, why, when people do sales, why isn't it like, this is number 2, this is number 3? It's always like, this is number 0015.
Oh, I didn't, okay. When you become a live seller, you get this feedback in my email to you. That's very straightforward. You cannot do things in order because people will jump the gun. So if they know that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I got you. They'll be like, 7, mine. Okay, that makes sense. So you want to purposefully mix it up. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
well, I
good.
was
That's
wondering,
good.
I was like, why is it always out of order? Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Glad I
Yeah,
asked.
people want that item and they're gonna just go ahead.
Yeah.
People too
Exactly.
find things and then they pass on things, which really bothers me. And they pass at the end. But at least with the virtual shopping assistant, it captures 2nd and 3rd place. So that it
Good.
automatically goes to the 2nd and 3rd place. So
Right.
you always want to go live in the business page so that you have that virtual shopping assistant, which Maggie didn't do last night. So it was an interesting one, but we worked it out. Okay, Betty, and then Patty. I'm sorry, not Betty. I'm sorry, Bonnie. There's so many E's.
Okay.
Bonnie.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to ask, what if I have like a theme party, like all denim and all black, like half denim, half black, things like that? Because I have so much stuff. Okay.
I love it.
I think it's gonna
Any
work.
kind of theme party. Okay, I'm gonna start having some themed ones.
Yeah.
I've got denim for days.
Yeah. And then
Bonnie, what if you
Huh?
even did like put your post for the week, like you could have like themed weeks. Like this week's going to be all denim from Bonnie.
I know, I got to do something because I've got a garage full. I've told Sammy I got a garage full of really cool stuff, and that's a good idea. I'll try that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, honey.
And it's more fun for you. Okay, Patty.
I'm having fun. Yep.
Oh, I'm right now trying to figure out how I'm going to order my sale. Should I do it by size? I was almost thinking maybe I would do it by decade, but
Yeah, that'd be good.
I wrote, it's funny, I didn't actually verbally say this. I always think it's better if you go by category.
okay.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, if you go by blazers, dresses, pants.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I got to the most expensive stuff that, or, that I didn't leave out the big items.
Decade idea, I mean, you are circular, but I don't know. I mean, try it. Try it.
The decade idea?
I've never seen it. It could be really
It's
interesting.
like I could start with my 40s suit and then
Yeah. And then
go
like
up from-
you said, in your pre-promotion, just drive that point home.
yeah.
People will be possibly intrigued.
I'm
Okay, well, I'll organize it and see what I've got. If I have enough, because it's probably mostly from 1975 to 1990,
Yeah.
but I do have some earlier stuff. Gosh, I could even bring out my 1880s dress, but
Why
no,
not?
I won't.
Well, it could just be for like the excitement on the live.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to look at. Show us.
Because the more engagement you guys get on a live, that's why I just try to comment for the sake of commenting.
Hmm.
I probably look like I'm a crazy person, but the more engagement, it somehow activates the groups.
Hmm.
See that post, because again, I can't literally pull people into lives. We do the best we can. But if you create an exciting environment, I've noticed when sellers do really well and they've got so much engagement and more likes and more views, and so maybe by color or
Hmm.
by print is another fun idea. Maybe start with all your prints and then do like blacks and pinks and reds and greens, and I mean most things aren't solid colors, but maybe in that color wheel.
Hmm.
That could be a really fun photo, of the rack by color.
Yeah.
Really pretty, really attractive.
Yeah, I just binged all of the Home Edit the other weekend, and they do that organizing everything in a rainbow.
Yeah, that's how I do my closet. Yeah, my closet is organized by color. That's just how my brain works.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then, really like a live sale, some people say, oh, am I gonna not make as much money? I'm at the end. But I've noticed people will not buy if they don't like the item. So if they know that you have good stuff, that's where like the pre-promotion is important for new sellers. They'll wait for you. So I wouldn't worry about the day of the week, but obviously, I'm trying not to have a live sale every single day because it's gonna us all a little too thin.
And also I have a lot of outerwear that might be super heavy to ship, so I didn't know.
That's what I put in my shipping. I would just figure out, Patty, what you're comfortable. You might lose some money.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say it's $20 every coat, and a couple of coats might end up being $35.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can always do a flat rate box, which
Yeah.
isn't as bad. I have some of the large ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just have to organize it, and
People want
I'm
capes.
still sifting.
People want capes.
Pardon?
People want capes. I've been seeing in the comments.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have 3 capes.
There you go. You'll sell each one on your live.
Okay.
You can figure that out for when's your live? Wednesday? No, Monday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, capes are in.
Everybody's into capes, huh?
Capes are in.
Capes are in and thrift boss babes. Yay!
I bought a cape.
I can't wear a cape in California. I wish I could. I love dressing for women.
Yes, Bonnie, it's too hot in California for a cape. 96 degrees out here. Hello? Oi,
I know
no
you're in
cape.
California too high.
No
Yeah,
cape,
I know
Bonnie.
too high
No
for
cape.
capes.
Yes.
I love layering clothes though and wearing jackets and all that, but
We don't get that fall weather like that. We have to live vicariously through everybody else.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you can have my winter weather any day.
Oh man. All right,
For
guys.
my upcoming sale on Friday, I was thinking of categorizing things a little bit by trend. So I might have an animal print category. I seem to have some really flashy stuff that I might sort of call it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then, really colorful. And so I'm still working on it as well, but that's sort of an way of thinking that I'm heading.
That's a great idea.
Leaving the meeting.
I know the animal prints are just big right now.
It's always big. It's been big since.
It's always
Always
animal prints
love
always big.
a leopard animal print. Animal print is always in. It's considered a solid now. At least for me, it is. I see more
Yeah.
leopard. I have blue
look good
leopard
in
on.
the
Hello.
browns, though. I'm not good wearing browns and stuff, so I'll wear it once in a great while.
You look good in like a burgundy.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or wine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or plum.
Yeah, hats off to all of you who actually wear your vintage and your bright colors. I
love it.
love a nice charcoal gray sweater.
You could do royal blue with your hair. You could do royal.
Yeah, you could do my color.
Yeah.
I would feel too bright. I just like a nice dark gray.
Or do a winter pastel, like a pastel blue, like a ice blue.
Mm.
You can do both ends of the spectrum because of your hair and your coloring. Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting used to the hair. I'm not used to seeing it. In my mind's eye, it's still dark brown.
I made the switch too. I love now wearing the bright purples and cobalts and whatnot, because with the gray and white hair, as Joy is saying, it really makes the collars pop for sure.
Yeah.
Come on, Patty, get on the wild side.
I don't know.
I know. Gosh, just throw it on and we're wearing it.
We'll see when I wear to my live. It'll probably be
charcoal gray.
We'll see.
Mixing prints is really popular.
I don't know.
Mixing the prints and
Prince is really popular right now.
yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta go.
I
Bye,
know.
ladies.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
That's been so much
All
fun,
right.
Sammy. It's always so
you,
great to
Sammy.
meet you.
Sammy, great job.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see your posts improve and hopefully some more sales. And just remember that, it's just a numbers game. The more you post, the better you do. So congratulations, guys. And I'll see you at Brandy's sale at 8 p.m., which is in 40 minutes.
Hey,
All right.
see you there.
Good night.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.